Hey, just a warning, guys. My grandma is listening to something in the background, so I'm gonna have to mute until she's done listening to it.
No problem. I just got to get right through the intro.
All right.
All right. Okay. And hello, everybody. Happy Friday. Welcome to Awesomecast in number 30. I am your host, Brendan the Awesome, and here are my co-hosts, Kawil, Mary Jinx Smith. Please say hi to the audience.
Hello.
And joining us for the first time ever is IronInquisitor. Please say hello.
Pleasure to be on.
And JohnGetsGaming is going to be joining us soon, I hope. And he's going to be bringing along something that we're going to be covering soon. In the meantime, I need somebody's help figuring out how to operate freaking Twitter because I'm trying to find something that I bookmarked that I want to react to in a bit. Like, where are my bookmarks? I'm looking everywhere. And my team is gone silent. So we're done. Welcome to the stream.
You should touch the button that says more under the word profile. Maybe the bookmark is there?
Wait. Profile. I'm an idiot. Okay. Found it. Got it. Okay. And that will be it for now. I gotta stop staring. Stop staring. Oh, this is off to a great start. All right, let's see who crashed out on my stream several hours before it even went live. XX Misery. This guy has been something of a little gremlin in the Star Wars community space. Why is Battlefront 2 on the thumbnail, huh? There's multiplayer that's more fun than any of the crappy campaigns it has. Nothing wrong with having fun with multiplayer. People who play Battlefront 2. I don't like Ray. Brandon, the retarded crap stain. It has Ray in there for you, like playing as her. Thanks for pointing out such horrible logic, insufferable. Ooh.
C word.
When there's literally OG and prequel heroes to play as. Yeah, well, it's a Disney Star Wars product with Disney Star Wars characters, dude. It's inferior to the original. Fake fan.
The OG is a classic.
Ray lover.
Yeah, like all I really got going for them is pretty graphics, but then that's gonna wear off after so many years and generations when it comes to gaming.
You ask me, the original Battlefront games actually have aged like a fine wine, even if they don't have like the most high-end graphics. Captain Injax, welcome to the... Oh, shoot, he's actually still here.
I thought comments no longer visible were deleted then.
Why? Were you trying to delete your comments, XX Misery? Because if so, you have pretty lousy timing. John really loves to keep people waiting. I mean, not that I want to judge. But anyway, how are you guys? How's your guys' days been going?
Yeah, it was pretty decent. My grandma went to the chiropractor, and I went up to my aunt's house, made a bunch of Christmas cards, which are nearly completed, just have to be signed and say whatever little sentiment I want on the inside, and then mail them off.
That's awesome. What about you, Khalil? Hey, Matt.
Well, I already mentioned to you privately that I was. We already finished wrapping our Christmas gifts, and we're just waiting to put them on the Christmas tree on the 25th.
Okay. And finally, the festivities can begin. Hey, John.
Hola. Apologies.
Feliz Navidad.
Enjoying some Christmas festivisms with the fam. So, yeah.
All right, John. You'll have to shoot me those Screen Rant articles over on Discord because I don't have them saved or anything.
Gotcha,
but we have quite a lot to react to tonight.
Good. But it'll be content rich.
Well, this is about us looking back and laughing at Disney Star Wars. Like, this is sort of a... And
You
maybe a
guys
little
don't
bit of
love
Supergirl
Star
too.
Wars? What are you talking about?
Oh, this is going to be fun. All right. Let's get the quickest one out of the way. Nostalgia Critic, Star Wars Andor for his Disney-cember series.
Ooh, this is going to be fun. It's been a while since I've reacted to any of his stuff because years ago, back in 2019, me and some people I'm no longer associated with, we actually responded to his prequel stuff and tore it apart. That was pretty fun.
Yeah, I remember he also was one of the first people to be featured on Anomaly Inc.'s Revenge of the Prequel series. He's one of those. This guy actually had the balls to say he called it when he said the Phantom Menace was going to suck. He's that pretentious.
Yeah,
Bro.
he literally said, "Who has two thumbs and totally saw it coming? This guy." Yeah, right.
I'm so
Bob
glad.
Walker also claimed that George Lucas had barely anything to do with the EU in one of his prequel videos, and I was like, bull.
Oh, he actually had the audacity to reference the EU. Seriously?
Yeah, and he showed a screenshot from one of those New Jedi Order art pieces. And he was like, George had barely anything to do with it. I'm just like, you are so wrong.
He's a
Filthy
normie.
casual.
Oh, what was it? I think it was Narrow Dark who put out the video recently, basically about how Lucas was like faxing. Oh yeah, it was for The Force Unleashed, where he was like faxing them what storylines they could include, what story beats they could include.
I don't really watch Narrow Dark because he and I kind of don't like each other.
Oh,
because I don't know if he's walked back on his opinion on Andor season 1, but I don't. You know, we politely just kind of ignore each other, or at least I politely ignore him.
yeah. Well, regardless, that was it was just a bit of evidence about George's involvement.
Yeah,
Of
the Force,
EU.
like the making of the Force Unleashed, really debunks a lot of the anti-George EU stuff. He said there was no good Star Wars stuff in 2003. Out of all of the years you could have picked to say there was no good Star Wars stuff, you had to pick the year where the most flawless piece of entertainment to ever come out, ever be made, came out. The micro series.
Micro series, Jedi Academy, KOTOR. That was a really good year for Star Wars.
Imagine
Star
getting.
Wars Republic.
Yep.
Like, seriously.
You get the Clone Wars, you get Return of the King, and you get so much good shit in 1 year.
I think he already did a Disney-cember review of the micro series back in 2021.
Oh God, no.
He's probably like, well, it's pretty good, but it doesn't fit as well. It doesn't flesh out the characters like that 2008 series.
Oh my God.
That's just me speculating. I'm not saying he actually said that.
I know.
I avoided his TCW reviews for years, dreading what he would say, because I figured he would just drool all over it and think it's like the greatest thing ever.
I think he did. I do know that he did get early.
Me and Maytem, we later rewatched his TCW views together, and we just like cringed at it. We were like, because we were like, hey, let's suffer through all these TCW.
Oh, thank God!
Like reviewers who worship the show, and we did that stuff like all last year.
Oy vey.
Oh man, I got to check out more of your content, dude. Anyway, let's rip the Band-Aid off.
Star Wars is dead. Nothing can save it. We are witnessing the funeral of a galaxy far, far away.
Oh, except for Andor. That show was awesome.
Whoa.
Wow, that was quick.
Yeah.
Screw you.
Something I really want to point out is take a look.
Oh my gosh, he's mocking people like.
Take a look at the Andor logo. It rips off the Quake logo.
Quake. I've only heard of Quake, but I haven't played it.
Quake is pretty awesome.
What's funny is I have Quake
Yeah.
1 and 2 on hard disk since what's her face Limited Run released it, and I still haven't gotten to them because of the backlog. But I have like figurines and stuff. Oh yeah. Well, the thing is, like, Nostalgia Critic, like before he killed his character, I feel like was a lot more authentic. And then he specifically cited this whenever he brought back his character, was like, "Oh, I'm gonna be nicer now because now I know how tough it is to make things." It was like the
Oh my
Chris
God, that's
Stuckman-
Chris Stuckman.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
he still rips into stuff, but it's like, come
Yeah.
on.
Well, I even gave it was one of his Q&As because I kind of got into Nostalgia Critic like really late because I was an AVGN guy. I never even like knew he existed.
I've seen like a few AVGN stuff.
Yeah. Well, AVGN was always like my guy growing up. And then like Nostalgia Critic, it was like during the pandemic or something where I was like, I need something to kind of binge. And so I kind of like started
was me.
chronologically with his stuff. Yeah. And it's like up until like 2011, 2012, you're like, oh yeah, it's pretty good. Cause he's basically like ripping into really bad movies and like being, he's willing to be nasty and stuff. And then after that, he was just like, oh, I'll be super middleman-y. I'm like,
And then there
super
was like the
nice.
whole thing where most of his reviews was mostly like really crappy skits.
Yeah, he started
Yeah.
really heavy on the sketches.
And he tried to blame that on copyright.
Yeah, it was like, where's the fair use? Which, like, that was a legitimate thing, and that, like, you got caught for it, but also you didn't need to make shitty sketches. You could have just talked and used still images, quite frankly, like a lot of people do nowadays.
The problem with Andor is that it simply doesn't feel like Star Wars in terms of tone. It doesn't feel like Star Wars in terms of anything, really. Like, outside of Stormtroopers, you generally would forget you're watching a Star Wars production.
Yeah, there was moments where I completely forgot that it was Star Wars. Like, it just felt like some other, like, sci-fi franchise.
Ugh.
Yep, this seems to be the one Star Wars property everyone can agree on was great. Easily.
Not everyone.
Everyone, eh?
No.
Oh, this is after season 2.
He's generalizing.
Yeah, this came out a few days ago. This came out 9 days ago. This is fresh.
Ooh.
Reminds me of the whole, oh, everyone hated the prequels, man. Like that kind of BS. Like his general statement.
At least I'm pretty sure Nostalgia Critic isn't petty enough like Cosmonaut, where he's going to be like, what the hell happened? Why do people like the prequels now? That cannot be so.
The attitude that it's just because it's old, and so I've seen like I saw like somebody on I saw somebody on X recently like, oh, I can't wait until we start getting more sequel nostalgia. I'm like, the sequels have only become more hated over the years, and people have only noticed their flaws.
Yeah, I saw somebody crying about TLJ hate just being extremely popular these days.
It's like, remember whenever they were like, oh, just wait 10 years, guys. Everybody will love this movie. I even made the joke the other day on like an open bar or something whenever I was chatting. I was just like, oh, guys, only 2 more years until we all suddenly love TLJ, apparently.
No.
Andor's tone would much better fit Halo than Star Wars. I wouldn't know. I have not played Halo yet. It's on my list. I just got done with Arkham Origins, basically.
Oh, Arkham Origins, dude. What a...
that
goated Christmas game. Oh, whenever
that
he
game
says,
really needs to be remastered.
Oh, absolutely. Oh,
Roger
Brandon,
Craig Smith makes a really good Batman.
Had you played it before, Brandon?
Yes, I have, but this is like my first time really completing it because I've been like Arkham City. I've been at least every game twice. I played Arkham Origins on New Game Plus, which has to be one of the most frustrating experiences of my life. But it's like the only thing I never bothered to complete was Riddler outside of Asylum, because it's like Arkham Knight is him at his worst because of the Riddler racetracks.
Oh yeah, the Batmobile overload. Yeah,
I mean, don't get me wrong. I love the Batmobile in that game. It's really well done. I never really had an issue with it. I love Knight. It's just those damn racetracks.
I had an issue with it in how heavy it was. It was like the majority of the content, it felt like, was just in the Batmobile, including like boss fights and stuff that really shouldn't have been, like against Deathstroke and stuff. But yeah, no, Arkham Origins, I absolutely love. It has one of my favorite Batman moments of all time with Alfred whenever you like resuscitate him and
Yeah.
they've taken over the prison, and he's just like, Batman's at his low moment, and Alfred's like, it's high time you realize you're a man, not an island, and a man relies on his allies as much as his brawn and his wit. And it's just like, and
All
they're
right.
playing the music, and he goes to the prison to fight.
Yeah, we'll have to save that. I'm thinking maybe me and John could just get together and do like live streams where we just talk nerd stuff. We don't rip on Shill's stuff in general, because I feel like we're deviating. Unfortunately, I'm sorry, John. Sure, there might be greatness in Andor with some episode scenes, but to act like the first arcs of each season aren't incredibly fun, bring the main characters show down is crazy. There's like no brilliance in the show. It's all pretentious bull crap.
I always hate how people, not that commenter. I just mean like people who like say the show is still brilliant, like 10 out of 10. It's like, how can you call a show a 10 out of 10 when you're acknowledging that the first quarter of the season, a quarter of the content
is flawed,
not good? Like
casual Chris.
Yeah, if it takes half of the season to get any kind of remotely interesting, then it's not really peak.
I think I crashed out after like the first 3 episodes because it was like nothing was happening.
That's how I was with
season. I think my aunt might have done
1.
that too, because she told me that she had trouble getting into it.
Because it was like that was back when I still had Disney Plus.
Yeah, season 1 I definitely had Plus, and then like season 2, just watching it because they released it in batches. I was shocked at how many people were just like dismissing. They're like, oh well, the first batch of episodes was bad. I'm like, that's literally a quarter of the content, and it was really bad. Like it was just meandering nothing. It could have been cut out entirely.
The stormtroopers feel so out of place in this scene.
Oh yeah, and
this looks more like a fan film than it does anything else.
Yeah, people are like, oh, this scene. They're like, oh, they made the stormtroopers intimidating again, guys. I'm just like, really? Because it seemed like they should have been wiped out in 2 seconds. They're slowly walking down steps, and there's like 8 of them. I mean, like, and the rebels have a bunch of guns. Like, how can they not just kill them right away?
Since Clone Wars, and before that, probably Empire Strikes Back. Best thing to come out in years. Probably the best since Clone Wars, and before that, probably Empire Strikes Back. It is that good.
Screw you.
Of course, you can only bring up TCW like the filthy casual he is.
And skip over Revenge of the Sith, the micro series. Literally, KOTOR 2. The Force, like, you've got so much amazing Star Wars content that came out after Empire.
And people will give Clone Wars like credit for the most mundane, basic things. They're like, oh, it got dark because Anakin beat up that guy the one time. That like shows his dark side journey. I'm like, you realize you're talking about a series that's like 7 seasons, like a gajillion episodes, and you're trying to cherry pick like one.
And plus, it's not. They act like that's groundbreaking when like Anakin had like a lot of dark moments in the Republic comics, like the scene where Ashrad Het and Anakin are together,
and he says he'd be willing to repeat the events of the Tuscan Village all over again.
Yeah.
Ja FF03, welcome to the stream. Or you have like the Confederacy of Independent Systems using a zombie weapon on Gungans, or the Battle of Jabim.
Oh yeah, I just introduced my friend to that arc because we were reading it together. Like he would share screens and read the comic together, and now he really sees why, like, definitely why, the multimedia projects version of the Clone Wars was just so much more better written because, this is like a reread for me, but like this is the first time he's doing it.
Yeah.
Well, and I object to the whole notion that like, oh, making Anakin do something dark means that it makes that piece of media good. It's like, not really. You have to set it up well. You have to develop his character. You have to lead into that logically. You can't just like, because that's what people always used to justify TCW. They're just like, oh, there's this random dark moment. It's like, okay, great. If I throw in a random shot of Anakin suddenly cutting off somebody's head, does that make my series great? Like at TCW, it always felt like it never led into anything, and it never, like, I don't know, just successfully paid off anything. Yeah, and it's not just because it's a kids show. There's great kids shows out there that have incredible emotional payoffs. And
I mean, hell, you have like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2003 and 2012.
Yep. I'm literally just coming a few minutes from, the Animaniacs Christmas Carol. It's one of the best interpretations of that story
I have
ever. It's
not seen that yet. I've watched
Oh.
Animaniacs, but I haven't seen that yet.
They're so succinct. Their song lyrics are so clever, and I'm just like, this is kids entertainment. This is amazing kids entertainment.
Or like
because
the
I
first
can
3
enjoy it
seasons of
as an adult.
SpongeBob. The first
Oh
3
my
seasons of
gosh.
SpongeBob also did that.
It's just
It's
like,
like-
the humor is just like rapid fire, clever, and just like, it's so
But
it's like classy humor almost. It's just like, holy shit, they trusted kids.
But now
to get
it's like
this.
it's like fart jokes and all that, and it's fine when a
Yeah.
franchise is just built on that.
Mm.
Like I'm actually sad that the Captain Underpants show from Netflix is going away, because that was actually really good, because I grew up with Captain Underpants.
Yeah, I read those books. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, great. Justin Avarello is in the stream. I don't see any problem. Get some glasses, dude. You're freaking blind.
Any
And
problem with
Is
this
that the
stream?
guy
I
that was
agree, we're
sniffing
perfect.
for Darth Watts?
Yes, he Scran said on the server that apparently back during the whole Momo situation, apparently because Scran was acting nice towards him, Justin crashed out, and now he's been crashing out specifically on my channel. I haven't really seen him on a whole lot of others.
Like Justin, Star Wars Marvel purist.
No, Justin Avarello.
Oh,
not
Justin.
not
Oh,
Pierce.
Yeah,
No,
he's
no, not
commenting
Pierce.
below.
Gotcha.
I don't want to talk crap about Purist.
No.
No.
I thought this guy was insinuating that he was. Yeah, no. I thought it was some
Mm-mm.
shill bad mouthing him.
No.
This is a very different type of show for Star Wars, and honestly, it's
Yeah, it's a very different type of show. It's freaking boring and it's stupid. And it pushes commie propaganda.
Its pacing is horrible. Like, fine, there's a good speech or something, but for one, it's not set up well, and for two, you're talking about 12 hours or so
my
of
God.
content, and you're having like a 2-minute scene that you're picking out that you're saying like, oh, this makes it all worth it.
Hold up. Oh my god, this is reminding me of the War for Cybertron trilogy that came out for Netflix. Oh god. Oh, Primus. Oh, that's Oh, sure, you've changed. Sure.
I can change.
very welcome. It's
Oh,
more
hang
adult,
on.
different type of show for Star Wars, and
Bloody, that doesn't even look like it comes from Star Wars. This looks like it comes from like a Civil War movie.
Is that Santa Claus on the left?
But it's like,
Kinda
look
looks
at the
like Game of Thrones.
outfits.
He's like, as you can see, Andor, Saint Nicholas is on the Empire's side.
Why do you sound
Yeah,
like hedonism bot?
I don't know. I'm just trying to sound like a haughty Imperial.
honestly, it's very welcomed. It's more adult, it's more focused on strategy, it's more spy related. It's about the psychological effect an abusive government can have on you.
Oh, please. Luthen gives the same speech. You know what? He gave.
Listen does Jack.
Oh, he gave the one speech in season 1, and then all throughout season 2, he just milks that same speech. He's just like, you need to sacrifice a little more. You need to go further into the darkness.
Make a G75. Welcome to the stream.
I've always found it funny how instead of the way he pronounced Cassian's name, he was like, instead of Cassian Andor, he was always like Cassian Andor.
Oh my gosh, is that them trying to like recreate Billy D. Williams saying Han instead of Han?
Maybe.
It's sort of similar to it.
My favorite is always whenever people like compliment the set or something, and I'm like, well, yeah, they spent $300 million on a freaking show. I better hope that the sets at least look good.
That at that point, it's just desperation.
Both people fighting that government, work in that government, and actually like that government. There's less focus on lightsabers and the Force and more on politics.
Yeah, let's put the focus away from the stuff that makes Star Wars Star Wars. Like even something like Bounty Hunter that focuses on the underworld aspects of Star Wars had freaking felt like Star Wars because it had elements of Star Wars in it.
This is like so many other things. It's like, okay, you could not focus on that, sure. That doesn't mean that you're automatically better for having not focused on that. Like, that's not a point in your favor. That's just a choice. It can be done well or badly. If you're not interesting and you don't choose to focus on the Force and lightsabers, then you're still bad. You don't get points just for not having lightsabers. Like, that's such a BS like point in your favor.
Yeah, and then the pretentious Andor pricks when you criticize the show are like, oh, they just want their pew pews and their shing shing snap hisses.
Mm-hmm. Well, and like Mon Mothma, the clips that he shows, it's like Mon Mothma's husband and all that immediately dropped. I forget if it's after I think it's after like the second batch of episodes, maybe, where you just like you see her husband for like one more scene for the rest of the series. Like, it's just immediately dropped. They just like take and leave storylines so often.
Like the Andor,
they did the
Andor
same
looking
thing
for
with
his
the
sister.
daughter too.
Or there was the Andor and his sister. It was like all of this gets dropped.
Mm-hmm.
And
the whole stealing of the TIE interceptor, like, that's basically a way to sideline Andor for the first quarter of the season. He has like the goofy, like, oh geez, I can't figure out the controls, boop boopy doop, and then like, oh, as soon as they start firing at him, then he kind of figures that out, and then it's like, oh geez, I'm crashing into the hangar, what am I doing? And then he figures it out just in time. It's like, this is Force Awakens whenever he's caught by the cable, and it's that goofy shit that you all insulted, and now all of a sudden it's okay. And then like, he's basically like stuck in the jungle until the very end of that batch of episodes, and he swoops in and like, basically they're like, oh, we need to sideline him for 3 episodes, and then we'll have him come in and save the day at the end of that batch.
And trusting people who should or shouldn't be trusted. Everyone agrees this was
Illegal
awesome.
immigration
So of course
plotline.
not everyone agrees this was awesome, nostalgia critic.
Again with the generalization, seriously, dude.
Yep.
It's worse than that. He's pretty much, I think, still a Disney shill, because I know he got early access to Spider-Man No Way Home a couple years ago. He got to see it like a week early.
Yeah, I saw that.
So make of that.
He's kind of known for just being toothless now, and especially in recent years. He's just like, because he had a few reviews where he was ruthless towards something that people generally liked, including like The Wall and stuff. And so ever since then, he's just become absolutely neutered.
Oh, yeah.
He's just like,
I heard everybody hated.
I can see how somebody would like.
I think part of it had to do with the fact his Wall review was hated.
Yeah, and it's like, dude, you had an opinion that people disagree with. It's fine. And it seems like he's just become more and more mundane, or just like afraid to offend anybody. So he's just like, I personally didn't find anything funny in this movie, but for people who did, I don't want to offend them. It's just like, dude, what is your worth as a reviewer at that point? Like, just give me a freaking opinion.
Yeah, be real.
All right, let's continue.
We got 2 seasons, and my thoughts are very mixed on that. On the one hand, yes, I do feel bad it didn't get more seasons. It feels like there should be more.
Meanwhile, we over here are freaking relieved that it only got 2 seasons.
Can you imagine the pacing of seasons 2 through 5 if they had actually like gone to original?
No,
like what would they have even done in each episode?
They would slow, cramming 4 seasons into one with season 2, and because that was basically each one of those chunks of episodes was supposed to be a season, essentially, for those who don't know. And like one for each year of the rebellion leading up to, Rogue One. So imagine the pacing if they just spent a whole season on that first batch of episodes that nobody liked. It's just
Cannibal the Dragon, welcome to the stream.
Oh.
Apparently they wanted to do like 5 seasons of this show, and
eczema isn't fair.
Oh, thank God.
Exactly. It would have been like eczema, right, Doug?
And not only that, it would have cost them over $1 billion.
Yeah. I mean, if they'd have spent, let's say 250 million average, it would have been like $1.25 billion by the time they were done with 5 seasons.
Holy crap, that would be almost as much, if not more, than the Acolyte.
Yeah.
Where does the money go?
There it is. The TIE Interceptor.
No, is that a TIE Interceptor?
I'm not sure what it's actually is.
No, canon. I think I think TIE Ludicrous.
It was actually a stolen Wedgens design.
Yeah, I remember because Mecha G75 down here and I were talking privately on Discord, and he showed me a picture of what it's actually supposed to look like.
That sounds like a Spaceballs reference. It's like ludicrous speed.
And yeah, I don't know the numbers behind the scenes. I don't know how well it did. Honestly, a lot of shows like this sometimes don't even get a second season, so I should be a little thankful for that. That was a
Oh, sure. Be thankful that Disney got to kill Star Wars another time.
allowed to wrap itself up, even if it wasn't given the appropriate amount of time. But here's the other thing. Like a lot
Sorry,
of
how
two-season
arrogant you have to be like, I need 5 seasons to properly conclude my series. It's like, fuck you. Most people don't get 2 seasons. Get out of here.
Just tell a simple story that can be wrapped up in one season.
Yeah, or just like, even if you only get one, it's like, you don't act like you're entitled to 5.
Exactly.
Yeah, maybe my story is unresolved and I got to do it in a comic or whatever. Like,
And
Alright.
also, throughout my time, I've been watching a lot of anime that actually wraps up their entire story with just one season. Now,
Which
sure,
is what
they can
you
do
should
it with
be doing.
2 or even 3, but most of the time they can just wrap it in just one season and that's it. You move on and you go create another story.
shows that were wrapped up too early, like, say, Arcane or Owl House, I think too many
Ooh, Arcane.
No, wait,
Arcane got a
minute.
second season and it sucked.
Yeah, exactly.
Arcane got a second season and it sucked.
Yeah, like even people who liked, I mean, I was kind of indifferent towards Arcane's first season, but I'd have to rewatch it to like properly judge. But like, even people who absolutely gushed over it did not like the second season, as far as I know.
Captain Thievius, welcome to the stream, my guy.
Well, considering that my icon is Jinx, I can't, and I watched all the second season recently again, and honestly, the final, it actually has to do with the final episode, because yeah, it actually felt very rushed. But overall, I thought it was a good season. Obviously, not as great as the first one, but a solid conclusion to a really great show.
Why does that TIE Avenger look like it's compensating for being insulted for lack of weapons? Justin Arvello again. What I'm trying to say is I've changed to be a real Star Wars fan. Brandon hasn't produced any evidence about the EU. I stand with Script Trooper, Lucky Kennedy, and Darth Vader. Dude, I have produced a lot of evidence about the EU on my community posts.
Every
And
day.
I want to say, Justin, Darth Watts has not given any evidence himself. All he does is say what his opinion on certain things was and doesn't give actual evidence.
Well,
I've done several videos on my channel, proving that the EU had a degree of canonicity to it.
That's like Script Trooper. He was very selective and he was like, oh, everybody takes this quote. He didn't even include like 3 of the quotes that I've seen brought up by people who advocate for the EU.
It's just quote posting, but it's like no other evidence to back it up. We can easily tear it apart, but no, these people don't want to freaking do their research. They're too darn lazy, and they have audiences as sheep, so they easily fall for it.
And not only that, like, I remember Script Trooper, he tried to bring up the quote where George said, oh yeah, the Jedi and Sith didn't fight each other. It was from 2003. And of course, I knew that George Lucas had spoken about the Jedi and Sith fighting each other before. And like, I think in 2023, I finally found that in Star Wars Insider, like a year after he said the cherry picked quote that Script Trooper got up. He said the exact opposite.
Yeah, George was not like thinking that everything that he said would be like permanently recorded and like taken as absolute gospel. So he would say some things off the cuff, essentially, is all I'm saying. Like he wasn't like going, well, I must debate whether I should say this because it will be taken as forever gospel.
And plus, I could, even if that quote was the, like, for that people like to cherry pick, was the only one that came out about Jedi and Sith Wars, that creates so many plot holes in the movies themselves. If we just talk about pure G canon.
Yeah.
Like, why do the Sith want revenge?
Why are the Sith in hiding?
I'll put it this way, like, basically, if an EU author who had written in that time period, like let's say George says that exact quote to them, they're like, "Oh, but George, what about the Jedi Sith war? That I faxed you about or whatever." He's just like, "Oh yeah, that's true," and I'm wearing a flannel, so I can very much channel George Lucas now.
Yeah. No. Okay. Note to self for the new year: start wearing flannel.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm wearing flannel right now.
Oh my
Oh, dang,
gosh.
we got two flannels. We got two George Lucas channelers here. God, I love forming this team.
Seasons would have damaged it quite a bit. And with both Arcane and Owl House, I don't see that as a 5 or 6 season show. I see it as more 3 seasons. And I think the same with Andor. 3 seasons would have been perfect for this. And the funny thing is, seeing how this is a prequel to Rogue One, which I thought started off slow, but eventually got really cool, Andor is the exact same thing.
Okay.
It started
Pretty
off
much
Andor.
slow the entire time.
It was so slow, Gary the snail could pass it at lightning speed.
Meow.
Meow.
There's a lost rogue who doesn't really have any direction, but while trying to figure out more about his past, he stumbles into the rebellion. He finds himself helping a rebel spy named
And
Luther.
then he completely forgets about discovering his past.
Yeah.
Wasting so much time on stupid, pretentious garbage.
Posing as an art dealer who's working with a powerful politician you might recognize named Mon Mothra, and is often
That's not Mon. Also, I could have sworn he just said Mon Mothra instead of Mon Mothma.
He did say Mothra.
Oh man.
Jorge Lucas.
Imagine the Empire having to deal with Mothra. They'd be like, "Oh shit, there's a giant moth on this planet."
Quick, we must debate about this because we're all pretentious and we take really forever to do anything.
Yeah, let's have a board meeting and decide. We'll talk about the Emperor, but we'll never actually show him.
at odds, shall we say, with the Empire, particularly 2 people named Cyril and Deborah, who are trying to climb
Cereal.
up the corporate ladder and be the best Empire psychos that they can be. Now,
Oh my gosh, neither one of these are actual psychos. I have seen psychos for the Empire. Palpatine himself became a psycho.
Well, they're never willing to actually like commit to them being like full bore. They're always just like, "Oh, we believe in it for altruistic good." Like Tarkin was more of a psycho than these guys. Like he was actually fucking ruthless and, went with the Empire full bore. These guys were always just like, "Oh,
The
and what I'm
doctrine of
doing is
fear."
right." Yeah.
I say psychos as, yeah, the Empire, big shock, is really, really bad in this and is portrayed as really bad. But again, what I find fascinating about is what Clone Wars did once or twice, which is it shows why both intelligent and non-intelligent people would be on board with it.
What?
Okay.
Cyril is not the brightest person, but he has a lot of passion. Deborah
He cries for his mommy for like one entire season, dude.
is very bright, but has to be taught to step up. These 2 are easily my favorite characters, and that's saying a lot because most of the characters in this are very...
Why would 2 blank pieces of cardboard be your favorite characters ever?
'Cause they're
This
so
is a dude who
grounded and
claims to love
conflicted.
The Mask. By the way, a movie I recently rewatched.
Oh yeah, I remember
Very
his
good.
mask review years ago.
Yeah, it was a couple years ago. I remember watching that.
They show things in this you just would not see in a Star Wars show, like Cyril's connection with his mother. Honestly,
Oh my gosh. Anakin and his mother Shmi.
Like, yeah.
Like
what
seriously,
What
does
the?
it matter?
it's
His
like these
connection?
people, especially the prequel haters. Like it's like they haven't watched the movies in years, so they forget stuff, and so they say a bunch of BS stuff.
They're still trying to pretend the prequels don't exist.
And, they'll say like, "Oh, his mother got more scenes." First of all, it was a TV series. Of course, there's going to be more air time, so you have more time for that. But also her scenes, just like I said with Luthen's earlier, they are incredibly redundant. It's just like, she's like the disapproving Jewish mother. She's always like, "Oh, you could be more successful. Oh, I don't know, Cyril. Maybe you shouldn't do this." It's like, you only really needed a couple scenes with her, and they instead stretched out to her just repeating herself for 2 seasons.
And to think The Simpsons had an episode exaggerating the Senate scenes in episode 1 and how boring they were. I guess it's only okay to have long, boring scenes when a Hollywood hack does it. Yeah, because George Lucas pissed off Hollywood when he chose to stay independent.
Cut this character out and not miss anything that important to the story, but it humanizes him in such a relatable.
Oh my!
Doug, you just admitted
You
she was
pointed out why it
superfluous.
sucks.
Cyril's connection with his mother. Honestly, you can cut this character out and not miss anything that important
And
to the
honestly,
story.
Doug,
but
like I think you could greatly benefit from greatly shortening her. Like I said, 1 or 2 scenes, you get the point across because her primary reason for being there is to motivate him because of her disappointment in him and kind of like pushing him into like what his position ends up being, which is like trying to climb the corporate ladder. You didn't need fucking 2 seasons of her doing that same scene over and over. So no, he's wrong in 2 ways. Like, she's not done great in the show, but also you probably shouldn't cut her completely out. You should just abridge all of her stuff into
This is the same guy who couldn't get his own comedy series off the ground.
Humanizes him in such a relatable way. And I love how as Deborah teaches Cyril to be more strategic, he
All
teaches
right, these two just start banging out of nowhere.
Yeah, she
It's
basically
her
starts
to be more
strategically
mature, man.
banging him.
So wait a minute. This is a show called about Andor, and yet where the hell is Andor?
Well, yeah, Andor sits in the jungle for the first quarter of season 2, so he has literally nothing to do with the plot for that whole time.
And meanwhile,
then-
what was Kyle Katarn doing again?
He doesn't exist anymore. How dare you? that was that old bigoted canon.
He exists.
Oh, by the way, I put in the studio chat. Let me know.
Yeah, I
if
saw.
you-
I've got
Yeah.
the tabs up.
Okay, I'm just making. I
react
didn't
to
know if you
them
needed them
after.
specifically on Discord. I would have reposted.
No,
but
I would have taken them anywhere.
Okay.
passionate and go after what she wants, and both eventually work against them. She becomes too egotistical, he becomes too cold, and only at the end do they realize
In
their
like
mistake.
one scene, she becomes too egotistical. Like it's he turns on her at a totally arbitrary time, then
Oh
he
my
still
gosh.
defends her.
Being too egotistical. That's like half of the villains from the original expanded universe with the Empire. They are egotistical.
And like Doug, like I don't even like this show, but Doug's not even understanding what the show is trying to do, which it does poorly. But like Doug, it's not about her being too egotistical. It's because she is willing to kind of tolerate a little more than what he is or accept the Empire's BS. Like she basically goes with the massacre because she knows it's like a sunk cost fallacy. She's like, oh, I'm too far in to turn around now. And then he gets pissed off because she knows that they're going to slaughter innocents.
Ginyu Force playing rock, paper, scissors on the Yavin 4. How very adult and peak Star Wars. Despite the fact paper doesn't exist in Star Wars.
No.
It's called Whimsy Blast. That's the closest thing.
Caffeine doesn't
I was about to
exist.
say
It's
that.
calf.
No, I'm not rooting for these people, but I am really invested in them. I am intrigued by them. I find them fascinating. The same can be said for Lutheran or Mothmar, just about all of these
Lutheran?
characters.
You can't even get the characters.
Mothmar?
Is he like confusing Lex Luthor with Luthen?
I was gonna
like Lutheran.
chances are he probably craps out all these scripts in like a day or two, and then he drip feeds the content to people because he needs to pad out the runtime for Disney December.
Disney December is like one video a day, right? Like he does it
Yeah.
Yeah,
kinda
it's
like AVGN used to do the October reviews. He would do like one a day.
like AVGN. Honestly, I think has aged a lot better than Doug. I mean, he still makes content that's interesting. I remember the video. I found these videos. I found adorable where he was playing Mario Maker levels made by his daughter. Like
Well,
that was like even when he's not doing the AVGN stuff, I still find James Rolfe very entertaining.
he's not on a schedule, so he basically like kind of took his foot off the gas as far as content creation because he's probably got enough bucks or whatever. So he's just kind of like pacing yourself speaks to a lot. And so yeah, AVGN, like he's not going to be able to do what he used to do, or it was like,
well, yeah, he gets older and he has kids now, and it's like I personally say I don't want to judge how someone runs a channel, because I remember there was a Sonic channel I used to follow who rebranded himself because he wanted to branch out, and I was there to support him and encourage him to keep going while others were telling him just to focus on Sonic stuff. And I'm like, if you want to branch out, you know, it's your channel. Do what you want to do.
Yep. And that's kind of like how that's why I never guarantee a schedule where I'm like, oh, I'm going to review an EU book every, month.
Yeah, I'm trying to kind of tried to do that as well. I mean, to an extent, I have a schedule with these streams, but I am not I'm not above changing them if it's like, I don't feel like it, or I'm working on something more important.
Yeah, no, it's more about like committing to a specific subject for a specific
oh my gosh,
with streams it's a little bit easier because you can just be like, we're gonna chat about some general subject, every week or two or whatever. But like, yeah, saying like I'm going to do a bad game review specifically every 2 weeks or something, it's like, well, that's a little bit more specific.
Yeah, my channel may be predominantly Star Wars. I mean, I just put together a Robot Chicken Star Wars playlist on my channel. Check it out if you want. Robot Chicken's pretty awesome. But it's like I want to talk about other stuff I'm interested in. It's why I make like a lot of Transformer posts. It's why I make a lot of, posts about DC and Marvel and all that. I love those properties just as much as I do. Well, okay, not as much as I love Star Wars. Star Wars is like my true love when it comes to franchises, but I love those as well.
For me too.
That's fine. Everyone's got their thing, but Star Wars has always been there for me. I mean, my dad got me into it, so it's something that brings me closer to him. I've known it ever since I was a kid. Like, I've known like the EU since I was a kid, so it's like I have a connection to Star Wars that spans practically my whole life. I've loved it as a kid, and I still love it as an adult. Also, we're 46 minutes in, and we're only 3 minutes for this dumpster fire. Good thing I started early.
Yeah.
Well, most of these characters. Okay, and this is why I think the show shouldn't have been 5 seasons, because even in 2 seasons, I was starting to say there's a few too many
the
people.
French resistance spider people. Jesus Christ, they were terrible.
Oh, no, please don't tell me they're spider people as in the Spider-Verse. No!
No, the whole reason that the Empire needs to be on this planet is because these spiders weave like a some compound that's like, and that's like their whole economy on the planet is they sell like these weaves of spider webs that's like super tough or whatever, and that's why this guy's selling little model spiders. He's a resistance contact. He's like, oh, I've got a little communicator inside of this spider, why don't you buy it, buddy? And then they're all French resistance, and because Gilroy lacks so much imagination, he has them literally dress up as like 1950s French people.
Like this doesn't look like it comes from Star Wars. Also, I think a big part of it also has to do with the fact that there's barely any aliens in Disney Star Wars because of the budget.
Yep. And
like, where's the money going where you can't afford to put in a Gran or a Rodian?
Well, I don't know. There's some in the Senate, but they're usually just like fat suits, basically. And then, yeah, the other thing with the budget is it feels so small scale when they get to the whole massacre and everything. It's just like
it looks like a crappy fan project.
Well, and it looks like it's like 100 people or something, and it's supposed to be a whole planet, and it's just like, you're supposed to, you had a $300 million budget. What are you doing? Like, you can't show like a little montage of like a few different riots going on. Like, it seems like it all happens in this one square.
All right.
How ominous.
See you, Matt. Okay, let's continue.
Get this revolutionary resistance that's happening on this planet Gorn. I do start to say to myself,
Les
I
Miserables.
like these.
Wasn't the Gornin massacre from the EU?
It was,
ever-
yeah, in the
Damn.
West End Games guides.
Yeah, it's one of the events that leads to the creation of rebellion. Besides Starkiller Sacrifice.
Mm-hmm.
They try to incorporate it. They're like, oh, there was already a Gorman massacre where Tarkin landed on all these people, and so now we're doing like a second Gorman massacre. It's just like
It's really weird that
Yeah,
you
it's
chose
like-
to do that.
yeah, it's like paying lip service while also being like, but this is the real one.
They made it
Fine, but-
canon, guys!
I know some of them are gonna die, and I know I'm not gonna care that much. And yeah, guess what happened? Some of them die, and I didn't care that much.
Get wrecked,
You
bitch.
could argue if there are more seasons, I'd be allowed to care more. I get to know them more. But there's other moments where I feel like, yeah, I could tell there was supposed to be more here, but it didn't need it. Like Luthen's right-hand woman, Clea, about maybe a
Ugh.
third.
AKA the real brains behind the operation, because of course, why not?
Oh, I don't know if he's gonna cover it, but Luthen's death scene is one of the dumbest pieces of media I've ever seen. Where, what's her face, the ugly Empire bitch? She comes into his shop and she's like, "I've got you dead to rights, Luthen. I totally know that you're a rebel now, and I'm going to go ahead and turn my back on you now." And then he fucking stabs himself with the museum artifact.
Why?
And then she's like, "Oh no! Oh, put him in the hospital. Arrest him." Oh, and the excuse is made for it where they're like, "Oh, well, she was arrogant. She's so arrogant." I'm just like, you said she was a good character. She's so stupid.
That
An
sounded so
episode is
stupid.
dedicated to a flashback showing how they met. And you know, if it had more seasons, it would have given it a full episode. And yes,
Oh dear God! Flashbacks in Star Wars. No.
Here's the whole flashback episode. Luthen was an Imperial. He felt bad about the stuff that he was doing as a soldier, and then he takes on this girl, and then she becomes his rebel lady, and they blow up shit on Naboo.
Oh my God! It's
Naboo?
literally almost like Han Solo and how Han and Chewie met in the EU, except
Ah.
worse. Like 10 million. Space Bootstrap Bill was so incompetent at offing himself. He needed some random girl to do it properly.
Yeah, so he tries to kill himself. He doesn't quite do it. He's in like,
How do you screw up doing that?
I don't know, because she
a
completely
minute.
gives him the opportunity to do it. She completely turns her back on him and is just like, "Oh, I've totally caught you now, Luthen. Anyways, I'm not going to pay attention to you now for a few seconds." And then he's in the hospital and she sneaks in and you know, puts messes up his IV or messes him up or whatever, and ends up killing him. I don't even remember specifically. I just remember she sneaks in to finish him off, and then she goes and joins the rebellion, and I'm pretty sure she's left alive.
Okay, of course she is.
Wait a minute.
Khalil, you were
Wouldn't
about
it
to.
make- Yeah, wouldn't it make sense to have Luthen kill her instead? And that would have shown, you know, his version of the desperation that the Alliance has to go through to defeat the Empire.
Yeah, and how he like puts the cause above all
Everything
sort of
else.
personal
They'd be willing to
connections.
do
Yeah.
anything, but you know, they don't have confident writers, so
Nope,
They don't-
because
they
he
don't-
gave the speech in season 1 about how he'll never see the sunrise, so we have to kill him off now to basically spoil our own series.
Hey,
Oh
make
my
a G75.
gosh,
Don't
damn,
do
no.
it, dude. Don't,
No, don't.
please.
And you know what's even more annoying? That out of all the characters in the rebellion, Saul Guerrera is the only one who's consistent about, okay, you may be my ally, but I'm willing to kill you if it means defeating the Empire.
Mm-hmm. Out of
I would have
the
appreciated that,
Disney
but this-
canon, yes. And unfortunately, they don't explain anything with him in Rogue One in this whole 2 seasons. I still don't know where Bort Kali came from, the tentacle monster that invades people's minds in Rogue One. Everybody says, "Oh, this series makes Rogue One better." It's like, well, they don't address
Does
that
it
at all.
explain the tentacle monster?
Nope. They
Of
they
course.
don't.
They explain like the gas and how he has like the respirator and stuff because he's breathing in like and he has a very uninspiring speech that somehow makes a guy breathe in poisonous gas after he's done with it.
See you, double A.
yeah, he goes like, "You're here, you'll find it now."
They turned a rebellion. They turned a rebellion into an organization filled with backstabbers, liars, and morons.
Oh,
Because of course we can't have good guys anymore.
it's a bunch
Same
of
time,
incompetent
I-
ideologues. Yeah.
got what she was about. I got their connection, and it was still fascinating to see. Like a lot of epic series that have a lot of characters, I will admit the main character isn't the most interesting. I'll be honest, when I heard it was called Andor, I thought it was the name of a planet. That's how little an impact the character had on me in Rogue
Because it sounds way too much like Endor.
One.
Doug,
But he is still done well.
were you not paying
this is a
attention?
character-
Like, even I knew Cassian Andor was a character. Like,
Me too. I mean, to be fair, I didn't even remember his name, but
That verbally doesn't say much. He says more with his actions and his looks. You can tell the wheels are always turning.
oh please, here's
and you
here's-
show him
here's
making
Diego.
like the most blank
Yeah.
face possible.
Here's Diego Luna's every conversation, guys. Ready? It's I've been in this fight. How can you say this? I'm going to slowly shake my head and talk a little bit under my breath in every scene I'm in. It's just like, oh, fuck off, dude. And they're like, oh, he's so subtle. He's so amazing of an actor. It's like, no.
Oh shoot.
Also,
Uh,
this show is very expensive because they were also de-aging Diego
Mm.
Luna in every shot.
I feel like you could have just done that with makeup.
You can do a lot with
Would've been a
makeup. They
lot
did
cheaper.
it with Stephen Amell and Arrow. They just gave him a wig for all the flashback scenes for like 5 to 7 seasons.
There's several episodes in the first season where he's just breaking out of jail. And
Oh,
again,
Andy
you
Serkis,
could
you
really
were trying, dude.
Stop.
What's that?
Yeah. You guys could have created a list of the number of theories people came up by saying this guy could have been Snoke, or rather one of the components Palpatine needed to create smoke.
But they
Simply
don't.
because it was Andy Serkis.
Yep. Well,
That's so goofy.
and I'll say he did a great job acting in these scenes. His speech, just YouTube it out of context rather than watch the series. It's better than the series because he's like, it's like just a complete standalone. It's a lot better than incorporated in there.
Like imagine
Yeah.
if it had been like some prison break sci-fi movie, then it would have been like
Oh.
amazing.
Yep. Everything would have been better just independent. Yeah.
See you, Mika G75, and hello, Star Wars Forge. Welcome to the stream.
Please scale that back. You could have one episode where he's breaking out, but it's something like 2 or 3. But it is so engaging and so fascinating, and it's all building up to why this guy is going to make the choices that he.
Again, this just looks like a fan film. This doesn't really look like a high budget production. Where did the money
Yeah.
go?
does.
I know
Most
where
of
the
the
money
characters.
went to.
DH.
Ahsoka.
Oh,
Of course.
Whoa.
See, this is why Disney's business model of releasing or making several shows year after year after year was a bad idea. Because it's
Yep.
like, nothing's going to get that budget. And it's like, especially considering that you're working, because it's not like you're making a show like Batman 1966, which I feel like with Marvel, you could have easily made something like that. Nobody's really demanding a high budget, CGI bull crap all the time. You could do more with with less, but no, they don't. They have to release these CGI abominations year after year after year.
well, and you get franchise fatigue without ever having a movie. So then your next movie, Mando and Grogu, is not going to do gangbusters at the box office as much as if you had, put it actually legitimately on ice as far as on screen. I get it, like make comics or whatever, but like if you'd just had Rise of Skywalker, the complete disaster that was, and then said, you know what, we're going to take an 8-year break. And 2019, well, okay, so it would have been a 7-year break. But still, like that would have maybe generated like a little bit of like, oh, I kind of miss this or whatever. And because it was 10 years between Revenge of the Sith and Rise of The Force Awakens rather. And so that definitely generated a lot of box office because it had been on ice for so long. And now they've just ruined that by having these constant series. So now they have had no time to recover since Rise of Skywalker because it's just been shit. And they're just like, oh, well, now we're gonna have a movie based on a series that we've been releasing that everybody hated the third season of, and reasonable people hated before that. But it was just like, oh, well, now you're gonna make nothing at the box office too because you haven't even given it time to rest.
Out of all the Disney Star Wars crap, Andor is the one I hate the most. It caters to pseudo-intellectuals and dupe people into thinking it's good. Oh, it's almost like me in the Spider-Verse movies.
Work that way. There's so many scenes where I'm saying, why are we focusing on this? Why is this important? And it isn't until you get to the very end that I say, oh, now I put it together. Again, for the most part. All right, so in season 2, there's this interesting thing they do where every 3 episodes, it cuts ahead a year. And I have a theory that every single time it does that, that was supposed to be a new season. Like,
That's
that was
not
the
a
original
theory,
plan.
Doug.
But
Like,
Yeah,
Tony
that's
Gilroy
exactly what it
literally
was
said that.
supposed to be.
It was
this is also
confirmed,
something
man.
I don't like about Nostalgia Critic. He doesn't pay attention to stuff.
He
just
doesn't pay
assumes
attention, and
when-
he rarely ever does his research unless it's a movie that he really likes or it's a movie that he knows he'll get crap for if he doesn't, make a good review about it, like Batman 89. Or technically Batman, because no other movie is actually called Batman.
Disney said you only have 1 season left, so they condense it down to just 1 season. Well, in the first chunk of season 2, Andor is just stuck with these really annoying soldiers who are having a little civil war.
Oh, look, John was right, because we hear the Vader's fist, we're all right.
Oh, so true.
And yeah, at first it's funny, I got a few laughs, but you're there for a while, and I just did not
funny.
think it warranted.
Not funny. Disney Stars doesn't have a single funny bone in its body. Or maybe they're secretly comedic geniuses, considering how many times we keep laughing at their failures.
It gets funny watching like a reaction to it at a certain point, because by the 3rd episode of it, I'm like, get out of the fucking jungle! Like, shut up! You've had the same argument for 3 episodes. Please leave.
That amount of time. But that is very rare. Most of the things that are working in the
That's not
show
very rare. That's a
really
quarter of the
working are
season.
building up to something that is going to have a good payoff. Honestly, the show and characters were so fascinating, I forgot all of this was supposed to be about the Death Star. When that term is finally...
Oh, look. You just pointed out another reason why this show sucks. It barely focuses on, the elements that make Star Wars Star Wars.
Yep. They're basically like, oh, if we just tease and don't mention it for long enough, then it'll feel really epic when we say Death Star, guys. It's like, well, you've been mining the materials for it this entire time. I kind of assume that's what it was for.
It's like you build up to something that everybody knows is coming, that by the time it shows up, it's like, oh, finally.
Ooh, they do the soy jack. They're like, ooh,
again, that's stupid. The stupid.
Yeah, the soy jacking.
the way they had to delay revealing Spider-Man's classic costume in the Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man series until the penultimate episode, where they teased it finally being a thing. God.
Used in season 2 at the very end, I'm like, whoa, this world is so intimidating and so filled with dread that this term that, is like a Flash Gordon term. Look out for the Death Star. It's going to blow.
Oh, of course. He's going to insult the Flash Gordon inspiration for Star Wars.
Bro.
Because, of course.
Even Star Wars Rebels manages to find ways to reference the Death Star in almost every season. I don't think this show ever referenced it at least once or twice. Or maybe they did show it.
And even then, Rebels sucked ass.
Well, but Planet, that's kind of the idea.
Like
that's what it was.
Pulling something away just to say that it's epic when you bring it back. It's like if they hadn't shown Stormtroopers for the entire series, and they showed it in like episode 11, would you be like, oh, it was so epic how they held off on those Stormtroopers? It's like, no, just taking something away doesn't make it epic when you bring it back. Like you just said with the classic Spider-Man costume, it's like you could just shown that from episode 1. It's not,
and nobody would have had an issue with it.
Yeah, like sometimes it works in the story if you're doing a prequel to like lead up to the development of something, but that doesn't just make it good just holding off on revealing something. Like saying the word Death Star, they were already talking about it. They were already talking about getting all the resources for it the entire season. So it's not really an epic reveal. They just said the word for the first time in later episodes. Big deal.
Meant for, but in this world, it actually kind of sent chills down my spine knowing that this environment has made something called a Death Star. And it does exactly what it sounds like, and it has been properly built up to. This is a show that's probably going to do for me what Clone
So New
Wars
Hope
did for a
sucks
lot
because it
of
didn't
people.
properly build up to it. Gotcha.
Boy. And of course, he's going to make a parallel to TCW, a show I despise with every fiber of my being.
Which is, have it make more sense. Have you care more about them.
Oh
Now,
my god, are you trying to
make
refer
things more
to the original trilogy and people not caring? Oh god. That's a brain aneurysm right there. Screw you, Nostalgia Critic.
Clone Wars didn't fix the prequels. The prequels are still bad, but
Oh, bloody hell. He's
Prequels
still
are awesome.
Wow.
Oh,
and he's saying this
Bruh.
right after the prequels basically had their resurgence. The dude, oh my gosh.
Like, Doug, at least like acknowledge that, like, oh, you did this with everything else where you're like, oh, I don't want to offend everybody, blah 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 blah. But with the prequels, apparently that's the one thing it's okay to just unequivocally shit on.
the prequel's bad.
Like,
And he
I'll pick
thinks that
out-
episodes 1 and 2 are completely unnecessary.
Oof.
It's like
I swear, if he does a video talking about the prequel resurgence, I guarantee you he's gonna talk about how some stuff about the prequels deserves the praise, but I don't think they don't deserve to be celebrated.
Now,
at least
I've given these movies crap in the past. And I could totally see how people would go for them and not like those reviews, but and I still don't like them, guys. Okay, but
Understand more-
I'll give them their credit as the product of their time.
how this world was supposed to work.
It's going to be like a backhanded compliment. He's going to try and say something nice, but at the same time still slap down prequel lovers for it.
Basically, be like, I don't want to insult anybody's childhood, so I'll be nice now. Basically, like nostalgia goggles is the only reason you could possibly like this.
Why it was supposed to be interesting and important. I do want to go back and watch Rogue One again and see if all these characters I have a better
course you do.
understanding of.
Half of these characters aren't even in Rogue One, you moron.
Yeah, greater than
Jyn
half.
Erso.
Holy shit! Like Cassian Andor and K2SO, but he doesn't
K2SO.
appear at the very end of Andor. I was actually shocked that because Tony Gilroy made a big point about like, oh, they had his origins of the comic, and I said, "F that!" Like, I'm not gonna do. And he barely involved him in the series. He was in no major plot points. He was just in like a cameo, essentially. It's like, dude, really? You couldn't bother to give a shit about canon enough to like I get it's Disney canon. I don't give a shit about that, but if you're gonna create shit in the Disney canon, you should give a shit about that. And you bucked it for no reason whatsoever.
Because Disney Star Wars is a complete and total madhouse.
Oh, and like Mon
True, there's
Mothma is very briefly in Rogue One. Oh, that's right. They recast Bail Organa for no reason. And they had him in this very like
Brief cameo.
like any of the main characters in this, most of them die. The other ones are just not in Rogue One. Like even Luthen's assistant is not in Rogue One, even though she survives. And Bix is not in Rogue One, even though she survives and has the kid. Like she'll probably be in the next sequel movie.
Deadbeat
or
Dad
whatever.
Andor.
Yeah.
No Jyn in this series. I don't think my thoughts on her are going to change because, again, she was pretty weak. We didn't know much about her. But I do kind of wonder if I'll see the film as more epic now that I know the epic backstories.
Epic.
Epic.
Yeah,
What-
no, Dark Forces still slays Rogue One any day of the week.
You know what's really funny? I'm playing Dark Forces right now as we are streaming.
Oh, cool. See? It is possible to enjoy real Star Wars, everybody. Retro Blasting did a long video on Rogue One. He touches upon Tony Gilroy, mentions how much of a scumbag Gilroy really is in Hollywood. Oh, great. Thanks to know. I'll have to take a look at that after the stream. We're almost there.
Yay.
And
Almost
there was an
there.
ad.
Almost there.
Stay on target. We need to get... Okay.
Looks amazing. If you were to tell me between the Acolyte and Andor, one of these was the most expensive Star Wars show, I would assume it's Andor.
They were both expensive as shit. Don't
They
even try
both
to
don't
split
look.
hairs.
They both don't look like they had that much money poured into them.
Yeah, like Andor has some nice sets and knobs and stuff, but I like how he's like, oh, one is the most expensive. It's like, great. That's pretty much splitting hairs. That's like, it's like 300 million versus 285 million or whatever. It's
Like, who cares about
okay.
like who cares about a freaking budget? As long as the thing's nice, I could give a crap about how much it took to make it.
Not only knows how to combine real locations and CGI and make them feel like you're really there and allow you to breathe in these worlds, but
Gee, almost as if there was another Star Wars series that did that. Oh wait, the prequels did.
Yeah, allow you to breathe apparently has something to do with the budget. Wouldn't that be less budget because you're spending time in a set that you've already built?
they also know how to shoot them. This show just looks amazing, and I remember that about Rogue One as well. Like, it would really make you...
Honestly, I still don't freaking remember any scene outside of the Vader hallway scene from Rogue One.
You know what? I'll give Rogue One credit for, like, its space battle at the end. I still think it's all third act heavy, but, like, you know, having... At least they remembered the fucking existence of Y-Wings, and they incorporated some New Hope footage as far as, like, the Red Leaders and stuff. And you know, but they weren't as retarded as Last Jedi, where they're like, we're going to invent new bombers. They're totally stupid and don't make any sense in Star Wars.
Yeah, and for some
Gravity
reason they're super slow.
Yeah,
And they drop bombs in 0G environments.
like, because everybody talks about, you know, the Vader hallway scene, sure, and I like that, but I'm like, well, you know, I'll watch the space battle on YouTube or whatever because it's the only high budget like space battle that hasn't been a complete monstrosity that Disney has put out. It's not just like stupid mom jokes and stuff.
Feel like you were in these environments, and this does the same thing. Just looking at these shots alone, these places look like they've been lived in for a long time.
They also don't look like they fit in a Star Wars production.
It is so good at world building, not just with characters and writing, but visual.
There we go, fat suit.
Like, it's so easy to impress Andor fans. Like, they're just like, oh, look at these people playing the flute. Look at how deep their
It's so
culture
easy
is.
to impress Disney shills and fake fans in general. Like, come on.
I feel like Disney has been setting up Andor for their entire existence with the Star Wars IP. They're like, we're gonna make stuff so shit that when we give like a modicum of any sort of character, they'll say that it's a masterpiece. Like, we've just been doing the cheerleader effect this entire time, where we're just like surround them with such ugly bitches that this mediocre one to below average one like looks amazing.
World building as well. There's definitely a style to it, but when they go somewhere different, you can tell you're someplace different. It doesn't feel claustrophobic or dark or hard to see.
So
It's
Doug,
ironic
they have
I say this is one of the
landscape
best
shots is essentially what you're saying. You're like, it's not claustrophobic. Look at how wide open it is. It's like, yeah, congratulations. They learned how to film in landscape. Amazing.
Oh my god. The anime TIE Fighter fan film. That is fantastic. I remember watching.
Oh, I
That
remember
is
when that
awesome.
came out when I was in high school. That was so cool.
I remember someone also did like an X-Wing fan film, one that was like CGI, and it's all done to look like it was done in one take.
I just remember the GameCube and N64, like Rogue Squadron games.
I have all three of those games with me right here.
I
It's
do
just
not
like,
have any of those.
that shit's awesome.
I gotta get those.
I always had the PlayStation, and my friend always had the Nintendo. So I would go to his house and we'd play through the games in like one night. And yeah, the Rogue Squadron games were always so freaking badass. It was just like, oh my gosh, this is so awesome. The fact that they've made better stuff than Disney has been able to make with $200 million budgets and whatnot.
Star Wars properties to come out in years, because I'll be honest, it probably has the most things in it I don't associate with Star Wars, and
Of course. The greatest Star Wars project has the least amount of things that are associated with Star Wars.
honestly sometimes takes me out of the Star Wars vibe. Like, okay, I've talked about this before, but there's a big difference between the cantina scene in A New Hope and the diner scene in Attack of the Clones.
Oh God, he's going to attack that.
Here comes the prequel hate.
Those are completely different scenes. Of course, there's a big difference. They're not meant to emulate one another.
The cantina scene actually looks alien. Yes, you can see it's a bar, you see the band playing and people ordering drinks, you know what it is, but it looks very otherworldly. It looks like this is where aliens would go of different species and races.
Oh my God.
And everything, and get drunk and have a few fights. The diner just looks like a diner. Ooh, there's a robot. Ooh, there's an alien. Boom. It's just a diner. Those are always the...
No, he's there to talk to a specific person. It's not meant to be like a party there.
Oh my God. And it's a restaurant, not a cantina.
Yeah.
Huge difference.
I feel like it's like they're not even going for the same vibe at all. Like, why would you even compare those two scenes? That's like me saying, like, oh man, when Vader faces Kenobi, that's totally different, guys, from whenever Anakin kills the Sand People. It's just like, yeah, of course it is. Like,
plus in Cantina, they showed hatred to droids.
Oh yeah, don't serve their kind here.
Someone here to see you, honey. I actually like that waitress.
Get a cup of Jabba juice.
high and lows for me in Star Wars when I think of something that really brings me into a world and one that takes me out of a world.
Oh yeah, space bagpipes.
Disney Star Wars takes me out immediately. Like, just one look at their crappy logo for when they show Star Wars, it's like a bunch of their characters flash across the screen, and then it's Star Wars. Like, even the music doesn't even sound epic. Yeah, it doesn't even sound like epic or anything like that. It doesn't sound like, you're entering a galaxy far, far away. Like, get ready to have a great time. It's like,
Just remember
compare that to something like the KOTOR 2 soundtrack, which was done by orchestra. That fits the universe so well. It feels like John Williams-esque.
Or KOTOR 1's theme as well. Like, they felt like Star Wars.
This has a lot of both. Like I said, there's
the Star Wars opening on their shows where they were just like, "Oh, I think they showed a sink in that last one. I wonder if they're gonna show Smilo Ren in the next one." They're just like,
a lot of good
putting in more of their shitty characters and their little watch-alongs.
Yeah.
World building and visual storytelling and verbal storytelling, and it does a great job of that. But there's things like bellboys and rave music and SA scenes that just don't feel right in this world.
Rape. Anyways.
I mean, Star Wars could handle topics like that, but make it still feel like it was. I mean, Star Wars freaking had slave trade, for crying out loud.
Mm-hmm. Slave Leia strangling Jabba was essentially her doing all that Bix did in this scene. They just weren't as like overt in their dialogue.
Yeah,
she wasn't
like
Jabba tried to rape me. And
on top of that, it was like it was a great moment for Leia, and it was also a great scene to watch. It was easy on the eyes.
Yeah,
yeah, I get you.
Yeah,
and I know you're gonna say, well, wait a minute. What about
they made a little bit of humor out of it?
With, my God, he actually references it.
Well, they made a little bit of humor out of it with Han whenever he was like blinded during that scene.
Yeah, and he never. I think there is an official piece of Star Wars art where he actually does end up seeing her like afterwards,
and he's like, boing.
Oh my gosh. So lucky. Han is the luckiest man in the galaxy.
Oh boy.
Don't feel right in this world. And I know what you're gonna say, well, wait a minute, what about when like Jabba had Leia in that slave outfit? And yeah, you know what it's implying, but it's also a cartoon. Look at this giant slug. Look at this ridiculous outfit.
Live action. And also, like, what? You need her it's literally what I just joked about, where I'm like, oh, this is like if Leia said like Jabba tried to rape me. It's just like, and that's what Doug wants apparently. He's just like, oh, they need to make it more real.
She's
but
in. It's
in other words,
silly.
dumb
You're
it
not
down.
going to think that hard about it.
Honestly,
No.
I just want to pause on these 2 frames and gawk at them for a couple more hours.
Now they had scenes of
Jabba's
Jabba
like
actually.
best death ever.
Or he's like, Princess, I didn't know you were into this.
He's like harder. Leia's like, wait, what?
I love Dexter's Diner and Dexter. I love Dexter Jetster.
Well, what do you know?
A Carmonian saber dart. Like, come on, Dex is an awesome character.
It was so cool to see what Dex had been doing
Between
after the
episodes,
prequels.
yeah, he became like the leader of a resistance movement of his own.
Yeah, they were called the Erased, where they like literally
Yeah,
erased their
I
identities
remember
and
that. I
changed
think
them.
he died. I think he died in the last of the Jedi series.
No, I bet
I
they
think.
ate well.
Because I only
while
read
we're
like
rebelling,
because I read like the first 2 books. I read like the first 2 books in that series and then skipped all the way to 9. Those were like the only books that were at my school library. Critic is your typical film critic midwit. Says he wants more entertainment for adults, but gets squeamish when it comes to SA and anything involving the birds and the bees.
Yeah, well, and he'll call anything adult as long as it like lightly touches on some theme. He's just like, oh, this character's so interesting and conflicted because they had like one scene saying that they were conflicted.
Trying to grab her, and later she says he tried to R me, which, yes, is a line in this.
Oh my god.
That just makes him sound like a pirate. He tried to R me.
Arr!
I'm just gonna find that a little ewy. It'd be like taking a scene where a character
Ewy! I can't stand it, even though I will totally make sex jokes in my like I remember he made one in when he was reviewing like the Fantastic Four movies, the Fox ones, the first 2, the 2 that were actually decent.
Yeah.
Where he was
I
like
remember seeing
comic
those
accurate,
movies as a
yeah.
kid.
like I remember
Tim's story, right?
yeah, Tim Story's movies. Like those are like the best publicly available Fantastic Four movies because they actually freaking bothered to try and adapt the comics. But it was like he made a joke about the actress from those films who played Invisible Woman, and he said, "You certainly weren't invisible that night."
Oh,
And
Jessica Alba.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah, that was her. Yeah.
yeah, he's making those he'll make those kind of jokes, yet he'll get squeamish about this kind of stuff. Really? Like
Well, just let me tell you, Jessica Alba is probably the only reason those films got a sequel because that was back whenever they were still doing rentals from like the local gas stations and stuff. And I would go and get the little folders and you bring it up to the front counter of whatever film you wanted to rent. They'd give you the VHS tape or whatnot. And it was like, oh, damn, she hot. And you're just like, oh, give me that Fantastic Four. Oh, my gosh.
there's torture with this device, but it's all done mentally. You don't really see anything. And switching it out with a scene from a Saw movie. Yes, I like it to feel more real, but some bits just
stupid
don't.
whale noise or some shit that's like her torture. It's just like,
oh my god,
it's so
they
bad.
couldn't even bring in freaking interrogator droids, which were established in episode 4
Yeah, a new.
Yeah,
Hope,
they were a
have big
staple.
syringe.
of Imperial equipment. Or there was that Imperial torture device from episode 5.
Mm.
Feel like they
Oh
belong.
yeah,
I
with
wasn't
all
like
the red glow and all that. Yeah.
offended
Meanwhile,
by
they
it,
were just
but
playing
it just
Rebecca Black's Friday, and Han was like, ah, make it stop.
But those moments don't come anywhere near ruining what a great show this is.
Oh, don't worry. The show did a good enough job ruining itself just fine. For one, it's Disney Star Wars. It's automatically crap.
Mm.
And second, this show was boring as hell and everyone turned it off midway through. Like, I remember Disney was so desperate they threw this series onto Hulu.
Oh, and they even tried with season 1. They were like, we're going to premiere the first 3 episodes over Thanksgiving because nobody's watching this. So we're going to try and up the ratings a little bit. And
Of course,
people
that
all gave
didn't
it
work.
Yeah, everybody
Because
gave
I
it
think
credit.
the show got worse. I think the show got worse ratings than The Acolyte at some point.
Well,
or worse viewership. One of these got.
I'm pretty sure season 2 got worse viewership, and the one thing of credit that they gave season 1 was they were like, "Oh, it increased from the beginning to the end," and it was the only Star Wars show to really do that. And first of all, it was like, well, that's because it started off so low, that's easier to do. But also it's like they threw the kitchen sink at it, and it premiered kind of over the holidays, so that kind of makes sense. It's like, oh yeah, people are home, people are looking for something to watch, it's Star Wars.
But I think it was like Andor season 2 was what, spring, summer?
Yeah,
it wasn't it.
And I don't think, especially with like the 3 episodes per release thing, it kind of like it went more with the binge model thing where it was kind of like diminishing returns. I'd have to look it up, but I feel like it decreased.
A lot of people have called this Game of Thrones for Star Wars, and I half agree. Yes, there is a lot of talking of strategy, and there's not a ton of action, but when it does happen, it's very, very good, and it's engaging, and has great.
Even the blaster bolts look muted. The blaster bolt colors look muted.
And he's like, oh, there's lots of talking of strategy. It's fluffy language. It's nothing. He's just like, we need to. This is
a show where he's totally fine with there's a lot of talking, yet he can't sit down for 6 minutes of politics in the prequels.
Seriously.
Yep. And there's more factions and more interesting things to talk about in the prequels, whereas Andor, it's basically just like, oh, we need this resource from this one planet. Let's do the basic. Yeah, we're doing the basic form of oppression. And we're basically just going to talk about how much we want to oppress them for the next however many episodes. It's just like, it's a lot of overly extended, fluffy language scenes that are nothing burgers. Like, I hate that people call it deep, because it's just like, what would you consider shallow at this point? Like, the guy walks around the table and says, like, how much do we need to squeeze the Gormans? We must squeeze a little harder. Yes, we must oppress them a little more. And it's just like, oh, that's deep. He's talking about oppression. It's like, not really.
People
World
think
building,
that,
but
a lot of complex dialogue means it's somehow deep.
First sticks the landing a lot better and doesn't also go on forever. And again, I think just
Dude, this show does go on forever. It never shuts up or speeds up or gets interesting.
More season would have made it perfect, but as is, it's still the greatest thing we've got from Star Wars in a long time.
No, it isn't.
Shut up.
There's so much. Star Wars has been dead since 2012.
That's such a vague statement. That's just non-committal from Doug. He's just like, it's the best thing we've gotten from Star Wars in a long time. What's a long time? Is that 10 years? So you're just comparing it to other Disney stuff. So yeah, sure, it can outdo other Disney stuff. Like, what does that even mean? Who cares? Who cares if you're the tallest midget or the smartest retard? Like, I don't care. That's like saying it's the best Terminator since T2. It's like, well, yeah, okay. Like,
quotable lines in this. Propaganda will only get you so far. I need the end game. I think we've run out of perfect. The axe forgets, but the tree remembers. Oppression is the mask of fear. The empire thrives in darkness. It is never alive more than when we sleep. These are amazing lines.
Are they?
And it has...
No,
I never heard those lines before.
Me neither. Honestly, and half of them make no gosh darn sense to me.
Or it's just like super generic. They succeed when we sleep. Okay, so you're not paying attention and they win. Okay, that's basically evil succeeds when good men do nothing. Only it's just piggybacking off of that. And yeah, it's just very generic, flowery language.
Good characters and stories to back them up. I'm sure I've gushed about it too much like a lot of Star Wars fans have, or I don't know.
You are not a Star Wars fan, Doug. You never were one. Don't try and pretend like you are one.
How dare you stand where they stood?
Enough. Maybe people do need to keep talking about so we can get across that this is the kind of stuff we want from Star Wars.
No, we need these people to shut up so we don't get this kind of crap ever again.
What's funny is that like even the big Disney Star Wars fans, even they say like, "Oh, stop talking about Andor so much. I don't want everything to be like Andor." So like even Andor like causes a riff even in the little niche community that even praises Disney Star Wars.
I just wish they would hurry up and tear each other apart already.
All right.
Yeah, I remember when the first season came out, even someone like Force Wave was like sneering what they refer to as the Andor Bros. But what's funny is then all of a sudden, like a couple months ago, then all of a sudden Force Wave turns around on that and is like, "Oh, I love the show." All of a sudden,
once they realized that they couldn't prop up any of the other stuff anymore, they were just like, "Oh shit, we have to at least support Andor." Oh shit.
Okay, so this is the first of 3 articles that John gave me.
The middle one is pretty short. It's basically a shitty merchandising endeavor that they did, but yeah, this is a bad one.
Okay, do you want to do the middle one first, or do you want?
No, we can do this one first because this is probably the worst one because it's just they're shitting on George while shilling for new.
Disney's new Star Wars movie finally spotlights a bounty hunter 45 years after Boba Fett's debut. Okay, we're just going to pretend that the bounty hunter video game doesn't exist. By Ben Sherlock.
Sherlock, more like it.
Ben Sherlock is a Tomato Meter approved film and TV critic who runs the massively underrated YouTube channel I Got Touched at the Cinema.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Ew. I didn't even read that part before. Why are you touching people?
No, I got touched, not I touched.
Oh,
before working at Screen Rant, Ben wrote for Game Rant, Taste of Cinema. Oh, God, not CBR, not Comic Book Resources.
He's got the Gramuglia resume.
Oh, thank God I'm getting ads for Big Bad Toy Store now. I'm so glad I shopped from them. Okay, here we go.
I did not read his bio when I read this article. I'm so glad you just did that.
I got touched at the cinema. More like got molested at the cinema.
Okay, here we go. With its next Star Wars movie due in theaters next summer, Disney is finally doing what George Lucas should have done nearly half a century ago. Okay, so right away, it's the cosmonaut problem of this should have been done. It's like, dude, you don't get to dictate what should or shouldn't have happened.
Seriously.
In 1980, The Empire Strikes Back introduced a little character named Boba Fett to the Star Wars universe. This softly spoken bounty hunter. He's not softly spoken. What the hell?
Yeah, and Boba Fett appeared in the holiday special before.
Before Empire Strikes Back. So already you're. But softly spoken? When has he ever been softly spoken?
No, he's very clear. He's never like, "Oh, geez, Vader. Oh, if you could."
He's not Winnie the freaking Pooh. I shouldn't say that. Winnie the Pooh is awesome. Had the coolest design imaginable, and he was hyped to be a major new player in the saga.
No, he wasn't.
He was a henchman.
He served a purpose, and he fulfilled that purpose. He's
the original trilogy's equivalent to Darth Maul.
Yeah, he trailed Han Solo smartly. He was the only one that saw through his tricks, and he tracked him to Cloud City, and he was there with Vader to capture him. Like it was the classic example of like a lot with a little. You know, it's just like we barely featured him. We only had a few lines of dialogue, and we still conveyed exactly what he was.
But the character was fumbled magnificently in the original trilogy. He only had 4 lines in Empire and got promptly killed off in a hilariously unceremonious way, no less, at the beginning of Return of the Jedi. Oh my... George himself even said he regretted that he had no idea how popular Boba was. Hence, he wouldn't have done that.
I love how they're just like what I just talked about, where it's like less is more. Like he had really badass lines. Like Vader establishes his character a little bit by pointing at him and being like, "No disintegration." Like you did so much with so little, and this guy's like, "No, he should have had his own movie." It's like you
and if we did want more stuff with it, we had the EU.
Yep.
But we are going to pretend that doesn't exist.
That was never can. It was
I met the OG Boba Fett. He was a nice,
Aw.
Oh, sweet.
awesome. At the beginning of Return, the most exciting character introduced in Empire. Yes, even more exciting than Yoda, Orlando, or even Lobot. Turned out to be a glorified extra with nothing to do. Oh my gosh.
I'm gonna disagree with that. Yoda is a fucking legendary character introduced in Empire.
I freaking love Yoda.
Oh my gosh. I saw him Empire with the symphony playing in front of it, and Yoda's scenes, they're even more enhanced by that. Whenever he's lifting the X-Wing and it's swelling, like my sister's a total normie. My brother-in-law is even more of a normie, doesn't even know what the fuck Star Wars is. And they were both like enraptured during those scenes with Yoda whenever the music is swelling. Like,
because the other thing is, my brother, who is a big Boba Fett fan, doesn't glaze him this much.
He's like, he should have gotten his own trilogy of movies before they came out with
like
Return of the
Jedi. My brother is a bit salty that 1313 never got released, meaning he's denied a Boba Fett game. But other than that,
I remember the hype around that time for that game.
Dude, that was right when Uncharted was at its height. And everybody was like, holy shit, they're getting the Uncharted lady to do the bounty hunter game. Like, this is going to be badass.
Of course, this was way back. This was back before the days of social media, before fans had a channel of communication directly to the filmmakers to make their opinions known. Okay, so he at least admits this. So Lucas had no idea how popular Boba had become. 45 years later, we're about to get a Star Wars movie focused entirely around a bounty hunter, finally living up to the promise of Boba's on-screen debut. Boba's not even the kid.
It wasn't a promise. He was a background character, like a secondary character at best. There's no promise.
And Boba isn't even going to be like the main character of this stupid thing.
Yeah.
And on top of that,
just a Mandalorian. So this guy's just stereotyping. He's like, one Mandalorian, they all look alike.
They're all Boba Fett.
And again, it's like we had the Bounty Hunter video game.
Yep. And we've already had 3 seasons of this show and a season of Boba Fett, by the way. A series literally called Boba Fett.
Disney's next Star Wars movie, releasing a whopping 7 years after The Rise of Skywalker, Rise of Palpatine, is finally putting a bounty hunter into spotlight. Set to be released in theaters on May 22nd, 2026, The Mandalorian and Grogu will continue the TV show's story on the big screen, as the titular duo is recruited by the New Republic to aid in fighting the Imperial remnants. Okay, congratulations. This movie's going to have nothing to do with freaking bounty hunting.
That's pretty boring, though. It's just like, we've already
It's like the most generic premise.
Times. Let's fight another Imperial remnant, guys.
That is the most generic thing you could ever do. It's not quite the same as getting a full-on Boba Fett movie, but Din Djarin is pretty transparently an extension of that character and all the lore that was created around him. Since James Mangold's Boba movie is dead in the water, oh Christ, they actually
season of
I almost forgot that they had planned that at one point.
Yeah, that was like back when it before Solo bombed. They were like, "Oh, we're gonna have an episode and then a solo movie, not like a Han Solo movie, but like a Star Wars story." Yeah, we're gonna have like a standalone movie, an episode movie, a standalone movie. They were gonna do one every year until they realized how badly they had fumbled this franchise.
This is probably the closest we'll get to a standalone Fett film, as in we're not even going to get somewhere close. In the 45 years since Boba first appeared on the big screen, a bounty hunter has never led their own Star Wars movie. Oh my gosh! Bounty hunter!
They had to specify movie because there's been like 4 seasons of TV series based off Star Wars bounty hunters, even though
not to mention in the EU, you've got video games, you had comics. Boba's dad, Jango Fett, who's an extreme badass, by the way, got his own subplot in episode 2, Attack of the Clones, but a subplot? It wasn't really a subplot. He was part of the main plot.
Yeah.
He was.
But he was hardly the main character of the movie. Of course not. The main character. There's several main characters in the movie.
I also love I went to the Lego store this past weekend while I was Christmas shopping, and they had the big display of the Slave One out front, and they had it labeled as Jango Fett's starship.
Yeah, I remember. We still have those sets. They have those sets where I work, and I don't think anyone's really picked one up.
What was really funny is I took a few pictures because in all the toy stores, they were like OT and prequel stuff was like so prominently featured, and it was probably less than 10% was anything sequel related, even though it's the most recent media, so it should be the most prominent. They were like, here's our big Death Star display with the cutout and everything from the OT, and they're like, here's all the cool prequel ships and everything. Oh, here's a Razor Crest, I guess, in one part of this display.
The Mandalorian Grogu is a chance for Star Wars to finally do a full-blown spaghetti western in space. I'm pretty sure Star Wars had a spaghetti western. It's one of the OT movies. Watch them. The Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi failed Boba Fett. Oh! Every time I hit one of these major you were right, John. This is the worst.
Oh, they're just like, apparently they made up this whole thing in their head that they wanted Boba Fett to be like the main character of the last two movies of the OT.
When Darth Vader hired Boba to track down the Millennium Falcon, the character had a ton of potential. He was modeled after Clint Eastwood's Man with No Name from the Dollars trilogy and had a similar gray moral code. Oh, geez, there's a spelling error in this.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, gray model code. Like, what are they confusing it with the action figures?
He was neither good nor bad. He was a gun for hire, following the orders of whoever could pay him the most.
Also, like, I'm just picturing now, like, Boba Fett, like, with a little poncho and a little tiny cigar. He's just like, I'm gonna do the final standoff with you, Solo. It's like, how are you smoking through your mask? He's just shut up.
Like, just play the bounty hunter story in SWTOR if you really want a bounty hunter story that badly. Shoot, you had like Jango Fett open seasons, Star Wars Bounty Hunter, the video game. Boba even had his own comics at one point.
Drink some boba tea. Anyways.
I cannot never look at a box of that and go and think about Boba Fett. Before Vader's redemption, Boba was the only anti-hero in the Star Wars. He's mostly portrayed as a bad guy. Like, a lot of the time when they're doing like light side versus dark side, Boba's always paired up with the bad guys.
Oh like the original Battlefront 2, like, is probably a prime example.
Mm-hmm.
Most of the saga's characters fall into the binary categories of heroes and villains, but Boba walks a fine line between the two. Literally a lot of bounty hunters do, dude. Boba's really nothing special in that regard.
Yeah.
There was so much.
Yeah.
Bosk, IG-88, Dengar.
That's the one I was thinking.
There was who? Oh yeah, Greedo.
Oh
Uta Han Solo. There was so much that The Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi could have done with Boba, but they completely failed. What was he supposed to really do in those movies beyond what he did?
How long do you want these movies to be? Like, you need another 30-minute subplot just to flesh out Boba? He's a background side character. I don't know what else to tell you. I'm sorry.
In Empire, he mostly just stands in the background looking cool. And in Jedi, a temporarily blinded Han Solo accidentally... He doesn't even freaking die. Kills Boba in a slapstick gag befitting of Laurel and Hardy. Say what you will about... Oh, my God. Say what you will about Disney Star Wars, but they've given us the best Boba action of all time.
No.
What? You mean Fat Tamora Morrison, where they didn't give him enough time to lose weight, so it looks super ridiculous in the armor, and then they get rid of his gray bodysuit for black, and they paint out all of the scratches and dents in his armor. They give him a freaking loincloth. It looks stupid.
And they just make him fucking invincible. That doesn't make him badass. It's like all the lasers somehow find his Beskar armor, and he stands in the middle of the street with Din Djarin getting pelted with lasers. And then he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna use my fucking knee rockets, me." so cool. It's just like, that makes no sense, buddy. Why don't you just have rockets from
Stormtrooper
your
massacre
wrist?
in The Mandalorian made up for 4 decades of wasted potential. What? No, it didn't. It was freaking
whenever he-
awful.
He beat up stormtroopers with a stick for half of that. He was like, yeah, wah, wah. Leaning
Like,
us in a
I'd never
robe.
associate Boba Fett with a gaffy stick.
Oh my gosh. It's 'cause
Boba
they
had a
need to, like,
freaking lightsaber in the EU. That was way cooler.
It's because they do that stupid shit where they're like, oh, the Native Americans, they're just as good of fighters as all these technologically advanced people. He can totally beat up a squad of stormtroopers.
I
with his
could buy the
stick.
freaking Ewoks doing it because it was like home field advantage.
Yeah, they set up traps, yeah. And they
The
even
book
then
of-
a lot of them died, like they were mourning over their dead and everything.
I love the Ewoks. The Book
Mhm.
of Boba Fett was a letdown, but it made Boba much too benevolent and forgiving, and because it turned into The Mandalorian season 2.5 halfway through. But
Right.
Disney has still done a lot more with the character than Lucas ever did. What
They did more
Okay,
on screen
would-
because they
what-
have TV series.
Oh God, no.
But like, more is not better, it's just more content. So of course they've done more with any specific. That's like saying they've done more with Obi-Wan because they had a 6-episode series. It's like, ignore the fact that it was all shit. We're just gonna say they did more. Congratulations, I guess.
More slop.
Yeah, it's like, just having more is not good.
Oh come on, my screen's frozen.
Oh no.
Oh no.
I hate this. It's doing it again. I can close it out, but I can't.
The Mandalorian itself is basically just Jon Favreau fulfilling every fan's 45-year-old fantasy of what Boba could be. Oh, what? So it's just a bunch of fanfics? All right. Great.
Oh my God, I have.
What if Boba killed like 500 stormtroopers by himself? That makes it good.
Oh my God, that no, my. Oh my God, I don't know what's going on.
Oh no.
Also,
Hang on,
they shouldn't use the word every fan because
Yeah.
I was born years after the Empire Strikes Back was released, so I'm not exactly every fan who adores
Same
Boba
here.
Fett.
All right, give me a second. I'm gonna put my thing to sleep. It may shut everything down, but then I think it may
no.
pop back up. Give me a sec.
Oh boy.
Or no, wait. No, wait. We're good. We're good. I'm back. It
Yeah,
just
so I
snapped
mean,
itself
it's
back
a-
in. I don't know why it's doing that again. I'm sorry. My laptop is like extremely cheap and it's
I get you
crappy
because
and it's
mine
a
will be
piece of
like,
crap.
I had to stop using my external camera because it couldn't handle like more than 2 things on USB at the same time. It was like, you know what, you got to use your
Oh shoot, I didn't want to
camera.
go to this article. Give me a sec.
No.
Okay. Yeah, we're here. Like, did you want Lucas to make a movie in between, like when he was waiting for making the prequels?
Well, you should have just made streaming series. What was the problem with doing that back in the 80s?
Okay.
It's
I'm
just
gonna
like, like back then, they only like they had Star
I'll
Trek,
close
which
that
was
out
like
just to-
22 episode seasons. Like they weren't gonna do that with Boba Fett. I'm sorry.
The Mandalorians have come a long way since Boba Fett's introduction. Man, you know, Boba as a character has also come a long way. He got freaking married
In the EU mostly.
in the EU period.
Yeah.
Mandalorians and the concept of Mandalorian culture have come a long way since Boba was first introduced. He was conceived as a Mandalorian for The Empire Strikes Back, and although the movie never even identified him as such, possibly because it wasn't possibly because the term hadn't been invented yet.
True.
The character's widespread popularity led to a radical expansion of Mandalorian lore in Star Wars extended media. Novels, comic books, TV shows, video games, and it was glorious.
You know what? I love Snarky J, but they should not have done her verbiage here. Because Star Wars Marvel Purist, aka Bane of the Shills, has pointed this out where she's like extended universe.
Oh my!
And it's
She's
just
not
like,
the
no.
only. She's not
It's
the
the-
only one who does
yeah.
that. Another YouTuber I watch, Jester Bell, said extended universe once as well.
Yeah, and she's not even as hot as Snarky J, so I can't forgive it as much.
Like I love her because she knows a lot about film and stuff, and
Yeah.
she's a genuine comics fan and all that, so I like her. Snarky J, I haven't really watched her. My dad does though.
I
My
was
dad does
forever
watch
in-
her too.
Oh my gosh, it's just funny. It's like I like her son, but I was forever endeared to her because she stuck up for Final Fantasy 16, and I have loved that game. Since it
I
came
might
out.
check her out at some point.
Yeah, I've been checking.
I should have used better phrasing there. I'm not gonna. Anyway, as time went on, Star Wars clarified that Mandalorians were not a specific race from a specific planet. It was more like a religion. The Jedi are not a freaking religion. Oh my gosh.
They're space monks and wizards, and they bumped their head in 1977.
It's a shared cultural ideology between a bunch of stoic, helmeted, Spartan-style warriors like Boba. The Mandalorian creeds had been fleshed out significantly in TCW, Rebels, and of course, The Mandalorian. Meaning, oh my gosh, you literally just kind of smashed the expanded universe in Disney Star Wars into one explanation. Dear God. So basically, just toss out the Mandalorian creed stuff. I think that was established later on. Since Boba's introduction, this barely had. This was basically just a shit post on George.
Yep.
Like it's not like they just
George
talk about
shouldn't do shit.
like all this article is doing is it's crapping on George and it just talks about Mandalorian lore, and even then they don't do it very well.
Well, it's shitting on George. It's trying to hype the new movie. Be like, this is what you've been waiting for. They're trying to make you forget that there were 4 seasons of Mandalorian shit on Disney Plus already. Like, guys, we're not going to forget there was a Boba Fett and 3 seasons of a series literally called The Mandalorian. It's been all shit, and you're trying to make us forget. Yeah, this was a deceptive headline more than anything is what made me laugh about this. So look at the headline.
Provides the Acolyte with an exciting new release.
So naturally, when I read that, I go, "Oh, are they coming out with like a new series, a new animated series, something like that?"
Nope, they just released a lightsaber.
Yeah. It's like the most deceptive shit.
Oh my!
Like it's a piece of merchandise. Yippee!
Oh my! Like I don't even think this one's really,
Yeah, we don't. Need to
oh
go
no!
through
Wait,
line by
hang
line.
on.
Will Star Wars ever continue? Khmer's
Wait, no, it's not even Will Star Wars. It's Will Star. Who wrote this? Kevin Erdman. Since 2019, Kevin Erdman has been one of Screen Rant's senior staff writers, covering all kinds of superhero and Star Wars media with Easter egg breakdowns, theory. Oh my God, he's literally disposable shill number 257.
Oh no.
Kevin loves Batman because he's Batman. No, you're not. You can't even freaking spell.
If you were Batman, you would know how to spell check yourself.
Oh,
look, there's a guy named Will Starr. We're asking if he will continue Khmer's story.
And I'm gonna be like Bucky from Winter Soldier. Who the hell is Will Starr? Although The Acolyte was canceled by Disney over a year ago, one of the few good decisions they've ever made, there are still some big hopes that the Stranger's story might continue in some fashion. Whether it's a spin-off,
6 fans.
Oh, even that number is far too high to believe. Whether it's a spin-off series, a movie, or even on the page with a novel or comic, The Stranger's future deserves to be explored further. No, it doesn't.
Why does it deserve it? Justify why.
Also, I find it funny they call him the Stranger when his name was literally Queermere.
Yeah, he was the Stranger in like the pre-series teasers. Like now this is how it works. Somebody is a stranger until you know their name, then they're not the stranger anymore. Like
seriously.
You look lost, stranger. Going down.
Got something for you, stranger.
Oh my God, I love Smoothie in that game.
What are you buying?
This is certainly true after it was recently confirmed that the Acolyte intentionally had clues teasing that Queermere would have eventually been revealed as the first Rent. Oh my gosh, that was concept art, you idiot.
Oh, this was the stupid speculation just because his mask was a generic dark side shit, and so was all the Knights of Ren stuff. They're just like, oh, they're so similar. I'm like, no, they're just like generic dark side. That's why you're saying that.
Oh my god, was a Kingdom Heart game released in 2025?
Oh. I don't remember one.
Shoot.
As far as I know,
Maybe they had
I
a
don't
new
think so.
collection or something.
I don't know, because I only have like I have one of them for like PS4. Founder of the Knights of Ren that would one day come to be led by a corrupted Ben Soul during the sequel. Like, what is the hell is even a freaking Ren?
Well,
Oh my god. Okay, so it's like talk about stupid talk about a stupid product that nobody's going to freaking buy, and then just have to shove this in because I guess we need people to continue reading down. We need to justify a word count.
I think there was something. What was it where they were trying to get? It was the one Hot Toys, I think it is, that like gets their stuff funded by getting so many people to pledge to like buying it, and they couldn't get it funded. I think it was either for a Doctor Who thing or a Star Wars thing where they were just like
that was HasLabs.
Oh, okay,
it was the Riva lightsaber. The Riva light.
That's it. I knew it was a Star Wars thing where it was just like, oh yeah, we couldn't even get enough people interested to make the merchandise.
Yeah, I've been following a channel that's actually been tracking a lot of HasLab's failed projects, like the Rancor that they were planning on doing at one point, and how much of a disaster that was. Okay, final Screen Rant article, and then we get on to a creme de la creme that I was given like earlier this week that I think would be hilarious to see before we move on to another video. Okay, this is 3 minutes.
Oh yeah, I think
just
so.
His boss's boss is.
Yeah, this one is pretty much like the bad criticisms. Yes. Oh yeah, what's the reason for the backlash?
Diet Coke break?
Oh, come on.
Yes.
I hate these freaking ads. The ones that you can't skip.
Suffer through them.
Maybe it's just your big chance to make an impression.
I don't even freaking drink Coke.
Sorry about that.
I don't even snort Coke anymore.
I only occasionally drink any kind of soda.
It's unfair I'm a Sprite guy.
Cranberry Sprite for the holidays?
No.
Say that Ray is into
video.
What?
What was the name of the video?
Like,
is there
the
one?
Reason for the backlash?
Oh, Sequel Trilogy Backlash Explained.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry about that. I didn't see it right away. My apologies. And this was made by Peter Muktuk and Jose Morfin.
Yeah.
Oh,
what was that drivel that just came out of my mouth? Okay.
Wow.
It's unfair to say that Ray isn't a well-developed character. She is, but
okay, right away we already started with the stupid.
Oh, he only got 3 minutes. At least he's better than Stuckman. He doesn't not get to the punch. He's just like, no, I'm gonna be retarded.
And at least he doesn't spend like he doesn't spend like 3 of the 5 minutes doing an ad read.
Sure, Brandon, but have you heard of this wonderful artistic gambling game that I bought?
That development gets derailed when she's revealed to be a Palpatine. For starters, this twist is clearly a subversion of Darth Vader being Luke's father.
Wait, hold up. Hang on. I noticed a weird inconsistent. Hang on.
You guys remember how
much Sharai Singh Thapa. Then who the heck is Peter Muktuk?
Well, that's just the video. He was putting Peter's he was putting Peter's words into a perfectly edited video like this.
A subversion of Darth Vader.
This guy's like, oh, she was totally undermined by Rise of Skywalker. It's like the revisionist history of like, oh, everybody loved Rey before Rise of Skywalker, guys. It's like,
nobody
wait a minute,
loved Rey.
No. The whole reason they did what they did in Rise of Skywalker is because there was nothing to her character before then, so they just tried to wildly change it at the last second because they're like, fuck, nobody likes her.
Okay, I believe that's a Darth Vader render from the EA Battlefront.
Being Luke's father. Notably,
wait, what is that?
Being Luke's father.
Why is that Luke Skywalker render?
Subversion of Darth
so
Vader.
Badly cropped.
Why is it green? Why? So you have to make an active decision to change. Why did you change it? What is this?
Luke's father. Notably, that OG Star Wars twist cleverly
OG Star Wars? Wait, I
recontextualizes
know her.
both The Empire
don't
Strikes
take her
Back
name out of your
and
fucking mouth.
and A New Hope. While everyone, including the audience, thought they knew nothing about Luke's father, he turns out to be someone we've known intimately all along.
they
And
actually
the
have.
reveal also flipped.
Even before Empire, they gave hints to Luke's father. Like Obi-Wan talked about his father.
He was the best star pilot in the galaxy, a cunning warrior, and a great friend.
Yeah, and like Uncle Owen gives some hints where even whenever he's talking with Baru, and he's like, "Oh, that's what worries me," you know, basically with like he's becoming like his father and everything. Like there were several hints given that his father was an important man.
Luke's entire revenge arc on its head, ultimately pushing him to evolve into a true Jedi master.
Revenge?
I mean, he killed Obi-Wan, but I don't think Luke was like throughout the fifth and episode 5 and 6. He wasn't like, I must have revenge.
No, he wasn't. He wasn't.
Never
It's
Abby and
revenge
Last
at
of Us
all,
2.
really.
Yeah.
like Luke gets over Ben dying. Like obviously he wishes Ben was still alive, but he's not going to try and avenge anyone. Like he only says that Vader killed his father. You know, he has a reason to be against him because he believes Vader killed someone that Luke wished he knew.
Yeah, he only ever confronts him when it's in relation to the rebellion or his friends too. It's not like he just ever arbitrarily goes after him for revenge. He's always like, "Oh, I got to save my friends" in episode 5, or we're having the big climactic battle with the Empire here in episode 6, so I'm going to face him and at the very least occupy him while there are whole battles going on.
Yeah, and also the movie's called Return of the Jedi, not Revenge of the Jedi.
I think it used to be called Revenge of the Jedi and then got changed.
Originally, yeah.
Aha.
Yeah, some people have the original poster and stuff, but yeah, it
Actually,
very much changed.
Actually, at one of the theaters the theater I mostly go to, they actually do have one of those posters, Revenge of the Jedi.
Oh wow!
Like, yeah, they've got like Blues Brothers. They got the Tobey Maguire for Spider-Man movie.
Ah, the one with the Twin Towers on it.
I don't know about that one, but
that was always a
Firstly,
big thing.
the
Like, people had the trailer from before the Twin Towers were removed and everything for the original Spider-Man, because that movie came out in like 2001 or 2002 or something, and it was like they had very early trailers that involved those.
It looks pretty cool though. Like that trailer is awesome.
Teen twist in Rise of Skywalker makes no such waves. It doesn't recontextualize.
You know, what does this really have to do with the backlash? Because it's like the
everything
first few
bad is because of the Rise of Skywalker. Everybody loved them before that, don't you know?
Any previous information and adds nothing to what was actually an okay story arc. In fact, the Rey Palpatine reveal derails.
Okay, dude, we lost Han Solo and Luke Skywalker in those movies. I would say it wasn't okay, more a raging dumpster fire that is severe. Like those movies are every ounce of hate those movies get is completely justified.
What was the big praise before Rise of Skywalker came out? Oh, well, she was nobody. Is that praise? Not really. That's just basically like passing off the response. That's basically like abstaining from trying to develop a character, being like, oh, it's so interesting because there was nothing. It's like, not really.
One of the most interesting aspects of the sequel protagonist, that she's a hero who seemingly came from nothing.
Except
from
that
the
wasn't even in
inconsistent.
The Force Awakens. The Force Awakens, they're teasing her parentage the whole time, and then
it was a mystery box. Like they flew off planet, they abandoned her on Jakku for no reason, and then
they put in the Obi-Wan line in the flashback where they have him doing the little voiceover and then they're like, oh, my parents, they left. Who could they have been? And then like Han Solo's like kind of like intrigued whenever she says she was left on Jakku. It's like they hint endlessly that her parents were super important, and then Rian Johnson's like, nah, fuck all that.
between the sequel films to their struggle to escape the shadow of the OG movies, Rey being Palpatine's granddaughter underscores many of the sequel trilogy's problems. Yet this next backlash may be even more controversial.
She's like, you never
On
sent
one
me
hand,
$100
Rey
for my birthday or for Christmas. What kind of grandparent are
Oh
you?
God.
Oh,
my
no.
eyes. I have an
What's his face?
overwhelming
Josh
urge to
always
rip them
like,
out of their
"I'll hold on
sockets.
there for 5 more minutes.
and Kylo kissing makes sense. The two sides of an unbreakable Force dyad.
What?
It doesn't make sense.
You know,
If
you
you're a
literally just
dyad,
rip
you
off
have
the
to make
Force
out.
bond. You rip off the Force bond between Revan and Bastila from KOTOR. And you just make it stupider.
Oh, I actually haven't watched this video, so
Well,
I want to see if he tries to draw the parallel. He's like, you know, Luke and Leia were sort of like a dyad, and they made out at one point. Don't forget.
Rey and Kylo are young, highly emotional, and caught in the middle of a passionate galactic war.
Look at that nose.
That
Who wouldn't
first
wanna
and
kiss him?
final kiss is a great payoff for audiences who
not a
saw
great
an
payoff.
undercurrent of
Even she's confused after it happens. She's like, why the fuck did we just do that?
Daisy Ridley, like, you should have just...
romance between the two rivals.
Kylo's
Like the
like, I
Jedi
don't
and
know
the
either.
Sith, Rey and Kylo understand each other like no one else, but
How?
can never.
We've talked like 3
Ben Solo
times.
is not a Sith.
How do they understand each other so well?
Oh
They
my
can
God.
force
The
Skype
Sith
for, like,
have been
2
dead for a
sentences.
long time. And again, in the EU, it was like anyone who, you know, took up the Darth name, the Darth title, was not a true Sith. Darth Kaitis, Darth Kraden is one Sith. They weren't actual Sith Lords. They just took the title.
Well,
Yeah, because like Bane, Nihilus, and Deadu, like they literally disavowed Kraid.
Well, and
Yeah.
Called him a
we had,
heretic.
so by the end of this trilogy, we've had probably what, like 9 hours almost. We'll say 8 hours maybe of like content. So basically a season's worth. And their interactions have been, what was it in Force Awakens? He like
Rey just
knocked-
kicks his ass.
Well, he knocked her out and he talked with her briefly when she was in like the interrogation chair and then left. And it was basically like, oh, you'll never be Darth Vader, blah, blah, blah. And then, yeah, they fight at the end. And then in The Last Jedi, it was like a couple Force Skype calls where it was like, why'd you kill Han Solo? Oh, he wasn't going to be your dad anyway. Okay.
Or the
Here's my
infamous
boobies,
Ben Swolo,
Ray.
or the infamous Ben Swolo moment.
Yeah, he's like, hey, check out my man tits, Ray. She's like, oh, put on a shirt,
Ew.
bro. He's like, nah. And then he's like, join me. And they pull on a lightsaber and it explodes. Which, you know, take that for imagery, if you will. But anyways, and then so he's like, oh, they know each other like nobody else does. It's like, what? That's the entire that's the entire relationship was like 3 conversations. How do you know someone so well? You've never been in close proximity with them for an extended time at all. Like Luke and Leia knew each other way more than this. Han and Leia knew each other way more than this. Like Lando and Han knew each other way more than this.
Vader, like, honestly, all like Anakin and Palpatine knew each other way more than this.
Yeah, he talked with him over 3 years, like having like personal discussions with him. Like
Actually, longer than that.
hardly-
Don't forget that there's a 10-year time skip between
yeah,
1
yeah.
and 2.
Yeah, and he was a Naboo senator turned chancellor, so yeah, he naturally would have like you know, been pretty involved with him in that. Like, it's hilarious that he says they knew each other so well. It's like they have hardly spoken, dude. And what times they have spoken have been like super like to the point, just emotionally charged, like there and done kind of conversations.
Reylo is worse because Anakin looked at Palpatine as a father figure in the prequels.
Mhm.
Exactly.
Be together. On the other hand, was a romantic arc really necessary? Before their actual kiss, there was nothing over.
God. Like, remember when Finn is screaming that he has something to tell Rey?
Yeah.
Because I remember when I was watching that movie, I was wondering if he was going to confess his love to her or something like that.
Ray, you have a boyfriend. You got a cute boyfriend now.
Like that was my theory when I watched it in the theaters.
Mm-hmm.
Like they were teasing it, and then it's like it never gets addressed.
Because
like it kind of just drops and everybody forgets it happened.
Well, he's cut off, so it would have been really awkward if he'd just been like, Ray, I'm force sensitive. She would have just been like, okay. And then they sink into the thing.
But no, it's like he tries telling her, like, I think a couple times throughout the movie, and he just gets cut off for.
But it's
because,
like, what sort of payoff is that, Finn? What are you hoping to accomplish by telling her that? Like, really, she's not a master. She's not going to teach you. Like, what do you want?
Hell, I don't even. Leia didn't even finish her training. It's like, how?
Oh my gosh! After they said they weren't going to do any of that CG shit, then they're like, "Oh, just kidding. We did young Carrie Fisher."
Secretly romantic.
And Tarkin. Don't forget Tarkin.
Oh well, yeah, and it was after that happened that, and then Carrie Fisher had died. That like before the Rise of Skywalker came out, they were like, "Oh, don't worry, we're not going to do any of the CGI stuff. We're going to be so respectful and everything to her."
And
they
then
did
just
the fucking
reuse.
flashback scene, and they did her in the helmet and all that shit. It was just like, "Fuck you."
This is why I feel like if you want to do like TV for Star Wars, just make it animated. Don't. I mean, obviously, I don't think recasting is really the way to go because it's like everybody does know Luke is Mark Hamill, Harrison Ford is Han.
Yeah.
Like someone like Chewbacca or R2, it's like you can kind of get away with maybe replacing them because I don't know about
stomach recasting if it was like a much earlier time period.
I can see that, but it's like I do feel like animation would have been the way to go. I think George did have a point there when he wanted to go into animation.
Mm-hmm.
Because I feel like it just would have been the proper way to go.
But you would not need to force them to voice their, like, because Mark Hamill's tried to voice Luke a couple times in animation. You can tell that he's an old guy trying to sound like his young self. And
or like when he tried voicing Joker, I think his Joker voice has aged a bit worse.
I
can't remember if he did him in the Crisis on Infinite Earths cameo. I don't remember if he did that. I know it was like Kevin Conroy still sounded all right. Because I've seen some people say Kevin honestly should have stopped playing Batman at some point.
Well, a lot of times they'll sound older, but it's appropriate. Like Batman, he gets a little bit more gravelly, like Kevin Conroy does, and a little bit deeper. And it's like, well, that's still fine for Batman. And like Joker, Mark Hamill will get a little bit more like raspy or something, and it's like, well, that can still work for the character. Like,
or Peter Cullen as Optimus Prime, where he sounds more deeper and a lot more wise.
Yeah, or he can just like sound more epic because he's got that kind of epic old man voice now. But it's like whenever Mark Hamill's trying to sound like young Luke specifically,
it just doesn't work. He can't sound like him.
You can't dial it back to that for a real human character.
You just like at that point just get a voice actor. Anyway,
you can get a good impersonator for sure.
Between Rey and Kylo, Rey saw that sliver of light that is Ben hidden within Kylo Ren. She was
just tug on my lightsaber, baby. Come on.
It's funny when people say Darth Vader didn't deserve a redemption arc when Kylo does way more evil stuff than Anakin ever did. Like Anakin is a genuinely sympathetic character. Kylo isn't.
Because Kylo goes evil for like no reason. It's just like, because he was because Snoke got in his head. It's like, how? What did he do? What did he motivate?
No, because Palpatine played a bunch of prank calls in his head.
Yeah. Like Anakin, it makes sense. It's like, he's trying to save the woman that he's so infatuated with. Like that's
because he couldn't save his mother.
Yeah, and that's something I can believe, that it's like, he would do anything to accomplish this. Absolutely. And he suffered trauma and he's suffered loss and everything. He doesn't want to go through that again. Like, what does Kylo have that, like, is Snoke just like, hey, you should totally be evil right now, bro? He's just like,
simply doing her due diligence as a Jedi. And perhaps most importantly,
her due diligence. She swings a lightsaber around like a freaking baseball bat and screams. Like, she's not really a Jedi. Like, she doesn't act like one, especially when she has to fight.
This looks like they're just finishing and they're both ashamed. He's just like, oh geez, what do we just do? She's like, I don't know.
That Kylo is a psychopath who has facilitated the slaughter of billions through the First Order.
You know, Darth Vader orchestrated the slaughter of billions. He's literally responsible for the death of the genocide of the Fallen, which meant all the survivors wanted to kill him. Or he manipulated the Nogri into being his personal bodyguards.
No.
It was like Vader has done a lot of messed up crap, but it's like the man's genuinely sympathetic. Like, obviously, it would be a hard sell. I mean, it was like he was manipulated into becoming Darth Vader. And then after, he ends up killing the woman he loves, it's like, it's too late for me. There's no reason for me to go back.
Yeah, once you fall, then I'm kind of like more willing to excuse it after that. I'm like, oh, well, you're in the dark side at that point.
Well, as far as he was concerned, Anakin was dead. There was no reason to be Anakin anymore. He just buried Anakin. I mean, he even says it to Luke that Anakin Skywalker, that name doesn't mean anything to him anymore because it was like, the memories.
Even the people who are opposed to him agree with that. Like, Obi-Wan's just like, no, he killed your father. Like, now he's Darth Vader. Like, even the people who are against him are subscribed to that. And the fact remains, like, they never explain what Snoke tempted Kylo with. They just say, Palpatine, obviously we know now, although they didn't plan that at all. So that's why I still say Snoke. But it's just like, okay, fine, Palpatine, we'll retrofit it. Like, why? What did he say? Like, he never says it. He's just like, I've been every voice in your head.
Kylo want? You never really establish him as much of a villain.
Yeah.
That said, Rey is supposed to embody all Jedi.
Which freaking doesn't make any sense.
At the very end of the last movie, when she randomly says that line, it's never built up and never like set up in any way.
So maybe this forbidden love makes sense after all.
No.
Kylo is not all the Sith because he's not even a freaking Sith Lord.
And also, what do we want all the Sith to kiss all the Jedi? Like, why would that be a thing?
Especially since the Sith and the Jedi are supposed to be hated enemies.
It's like, hey guys, what if Dwight D. Eisenhower kissed Adolf Hitler? That would be like all the good people and all the evil people kissing each other.
Ah!
To sit on the matter, this toxic romance is among the biggest reasons why the sequels are so controversial.
They're not controversial. They're pretty much universally despised.
And again, they were hated way before that last kiss. Like, I get that was like the big viral moment of everybody booing at the screen whenever they kissed, but it was kind of like that's the straw that broke. There was no more chance for redemption at that point. I think is why a lot of those moments went viral, where it was just like, fuck this, we're done with the trilogy now, and you still didn't fix it.
So if that is true, why do we need a new Jedi Order movie? Raise all the Jedi. She can defeat any foes in her way. Movie over. Exactly. That line makes no sense. Like, why didn't they ever attempt this like all the way back in the day then?
They're gonna build Super Palpatine, who's Super Mecha Palpatine, and he'll try and shoot Force lightning and get it reflected at him.
And this brings us to the biggest backlash the sequels have faced. There are several problems with Luke's return to the big screen.
Oh my gosh.
It's actually interesting to see him as a grumpy, disillusioned old man.
Is it?
It's not.
Isn't that the most boring story arc you can do with legacy characters? Make them a grumpy, disillusioned old person?
Like, they did it to Indiana Jones. Optimus Prime, it's like they have made Optimus into like a disillusioned or disgraced Autobot leader. Because it was like the Power of the Primes trilogy. He literally starts that series exiled for no reason, even though he helped lead the Autobots to victory. It's like all these characters cannot straight up be good guys who get a happy ending anymore, because apparently,
You can
I mean,
introduce
someone like
new
Batman,
struggles too.
like someone like Batman, I can understand that idea that, you know, Batman is kind of a bit of a tragedy. At the best, he gets like a bittersweet ending.
Mhm.
Like in the Golden Age, where he got married, he became a police commissioner, Gotham became more cleaned up, and he eventually got killed fighting a bad guy. It was like, you know, he went out on a high note. And something like the Arkham Knight or the Arkham Knight trilogy, it's freaking tragic that he has to like give up being Batman for the sake of the city and fake his own death. It's like Batman can be tragic. That could be understandable. But with someone like Luke, who's supposed to embody hope and optimism, and he's literally set up to create a new Jedi Order, it's like, what the hell? Why? Who would ever want to see him fail?
Well, and it's just like, isn't that just kind of like a boring story arc to take with him? It's just like, it's so much more difficult to evolve and try and make a new conflict for the character. This is what they do with every character. Like they do it with Han Solo, where they're like, hey, rewind, make him disillusioned. He's even more down on his luck now than whenever we met him in A New Hope. Now he's pissed off 3 factions. And like Leia's like, oh, she's another failed rebellion leader. Now they're even more down on their luck. Oh, geez. It's like you never advance anybody. You never, like in the EU, they have Han and Leia married, and there's new conflicts. There's still interesting conflicts. There's still hard things for them to face. You're just not brave enough to try it.
Like Luke freaking got married and had a kid. He lost. Mara Jade eventually died, and Luke had to deal with that loss.
But while we know how he turns out this way, that's a journey that almost deserves its own movie. This.
Oh my God! No, it does not deserve its own movie.
The Jake Skywalker movie.
8 pounds.
A movie that everyone is freaking never going to watch.
Luke wakes up in his bed and he's like, he starts sauntering over to the kids' tent to like hold his lightsaber over Ben. He's just like, he's in like a fucking sleepwalking phase. And then Ben wakes up and collapses everything on him. And Luke like emerges out of the rubble and like shakes his head off. He's like, oh, geez, that was a crazy night. I shouldn't have had so much Corellian brandy.
Oh my
Skywalker, the Jedi whose love saved the galaxy from both Darth Vader and Emperor Palpatine. And to most viewers, the sequels failed to justify how Luke could evolve into the opposite of himself. There's nothing.
I love the edit as if there's just like a rat under Ben, and that's like all Luke was actually going for. He's just like, watch out. And Ben's like, oh shit, he's trying to kill me.
You know, Luke, you don't stand over to bed holding a lightsaber like that. No, you go enter the room and you immediately cut it. Just do what your father did in episode 2 with those.
I was just gonna say it's like one of the worms from episode 2, and Luke was actually going to kill that, and Ben just took it the completely wrong way. He was just like, oh shit.
He's like, hold on, Ben, it's a complete misunderstanding.
Nothing wrong with a disillusioned and conflicted Jedi who later finds the resolve to die as a martyr. But it's also an anticlimactic and depressing finale for Luke, literally the hope in A New Hope, especially after his perfect ending in the sequel trilogy. But what would you change?
Perfect.
As Homelander would say.
How is that freaking perfect? And of course they don't explain.
Yeah,
in the Star Wars sequel trilogy. Tell us in the comments.
Thank you for watching Screen Rant. Yeah, thank you. I think I lost like half my brain cells with that. Speaking of brain cells, let's head to X, where this one idiot who's been stalking me, they now follow me for some stupid reason. This Ray lover.
Now.
Who is it?
Mads, light the spark. Apparently I'm making a thread explaining Rey and her journey through the sequel trilogy. Get ready, it's going to be a long one. Oh, and 26, she has pronouns in the freaking bio. Disney lover. Ray profile picture, you know. One heck of a fruitcake. Okay. Are you guys ready for this?
All right, let's begin.
Okay. Ray, part 1, Ray's journey. Ray's arc throughout the sequel trilogy is primarily an emotional arc. She starts The Force Awakens looking for belonging, and throughout the 3 films finds it in a few different ways. This means most of her failures will be caused by her emotional failings. This is similar to both Anakin and Luke's arcs in their respective trilogies. Anakin's fall is due to his possessiveness of Padme and his inability to let go, and Luke's arc is punctuated with emotional strength rather than physical.
Those are 2 completely different things. So is it like both of them or one of them?
They have to try and tie it in with both trilogies to make it that Rey works with both and not just the original, because it's like, because you know the Disney trilogy originally started by ignoring the prequels. Throughout The Force Awakens, Rey is failing the entire time. She's unable to let go of her unknown past. I don't know how that's a failing. And she's actively refusing the will of the Force until the last bit of the film when she's fighting Kylo. When is she refusing the will of the Force? She literally uses a Jedi mind trick somehow. Like, what the heck? She's not running away from anything. Oh, no. My audience is falling asleep.
I'm here.
Okay. Because of this, she gets kidnapped and inadvertently leads Han to his death and leaves Finn in critical condition after he tries to take on Kylo on Starkiller base. Had she not been ruled by her fear, Han and Finn could have still been alive and well at the end of the film. I don't really think so. Han also went there to try and quote-unquote redeem Kylo and just gets stabbed in the stomach as a result. I don't know how you could have saved him from that. This is so stupid. She then journeys to Ahch-To and to try and convince Luke to join Leia and the Resistance to fight the First Order, which he fails to do because Luke is a stubborn, whiny. Jake Skywalker is a stubborn, whiny baby. She then leaves Luke, convinced she can turn Kylo back to the light, something she also fails at because, oh my gosh, this is so stupid. The rise of Palpatine has a string of failures for her. She lets her fear get the best of her multiple times, leading her to believe she killed Chewie, which that gets taken away because Chewie's revealed to be alive immediately afterwards. She abandons her friends and even completely gives up on everything she had been training for since she left Jakku. All of these things have physical consequences for the other characters involved and set Rey back. She, however, still chooses to keep getting back up and forging ahead to ultimately win the victory against Palpatine and the Sith. All right, what do we think of this first part so far, guys?
I don't like it.
John, Iron, are you still there or did you leave?
No, I'm still here, man.
Okay, because I'm afraid I may be conking you guys out. But it was like, so Rey apparently didn't failed a lot, everybody. What do we think?
Why didn't they do this stuff from the start?
Why isn't this stuff never highlighted? It's like most of this isn't even directly her fault. Like Han was like, he went there to try and turn Kylo back because, you know, he's a bad dad, and then he dies as a result. I mean, they took the failure of Chewie away because Chewie's revealed to be alive almost immediately. And again, it's like none of this has long-lasting consequences, really. How can she do that? I find that people are unable to piece together. Okay, this is the funniest one I actually saw because I started reading this a bit at work once. I find that people are unable to piece together the information given in the film that explains Rey's talents and abilities, as well as the fact that so many people misremember her films or don't allow the same exceptions as they do for Anakin and Luke. Oh my God.
Ooh.
It's basically like, oh, you excuse Anakin being able to fly a N1 starfighter in Phantom Menace, yet you can't excuse Rey flying the Falcon. Okay, Rey is a scavenger. She knows ships down to the individual pieces and knows what all those pieces do. So she knows which are worth more to sell. She's been living on Jakku alone for 10 plus years, barely surviving. Okay, what does that have to do with anything? John, Iron. Are you guys nodding off?
No, I'm here.
Well,
sorry, I had to get up and take a piss real quick, and then I came back.
Sorry. Next time, if you have to do that, let me know in the private chat. Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Usually, if I shut off my camera, that's what I'm going to do. Something.
I'm sorry. Okay, so it's like Rey is a scavenger. She knows ships down to the individual pieces and knows what all those pieces do. So she knows which are worth more to sell. She's been living on Jakku for 10 plus years, barely surviving, which I don't know what that's supposed to be an explanation for, to be honest.
It doesn't give you any sort of fighting or ship skills. Like Luke, he'll
just because you can take apart a car doesn't mean you can drive it like Vin Diesel.
Or just like, oh, you've been living in a city where all these people drive cars for 10 years. How do you not know all the things about how do you not race cars?
It's never explained why she can fly in guns so well. She can't fly well. She crashes and scrapes up the Falcon multiple times when her and Flynn escape from the Nema outpost. Okay, well then there's no way they should have been able to outfly the freaking Imperial military or the First Order military.
Mm-hmm. And she says,
I mean, they should have been dead. Like, they should be dead.
Yeah, this is like a ship that's been sitting around for a number of years too, and they even say how much garbage it is and everything, and like the turret doesn't work and all that stuff.
Like there is no way they should have been able to survive. She also states after they're safe, I've flown some ships, but I never left the planet. Okay, so we as the audience also know that she has the Force. Her piloting skills pale in comparison to Anakin at age 9 and Luke, according to what he says in A New Hope. You know, Luke was able to actually prove himself because he flew a freaking X-Wing fighter, and Anakin was the literal chosen one. So there's a reason for that. And on top of that, it's like the Force here is being used as an excuse. She doesn't know how to freaking fly in a dogfight. That does she shouldn't be able to perform half of those freaking maneuvers.
Well, and she even is able to line up a turret. Like, she's even better than a lot of the original series people or the original trilogy people, because like they can't even move the turret, and she's got to like maneuver the ship in a super amazing way that just lines up the turret just for him to press fire and win. Like, so she does like a crazy maneuver.
Rey also knows the Falcon's history from the time that Han lost it to when he recovers it. That's why Rey knows that the compressor is putting too much pressure on the hyperdrive, and she needs to
please.
You know, Han is stated that he knows the ship like the back of his hand, and he's been seen tinkering with it, and yet he can't figure out the damn problem. Rey calls it a piece of garbage. It's implied that she doesn't know what the ship is.
Yeah.
She doesn't recognize it as the freaking Falcon.
She makes like one reference when after Han shows up. She's like, "Oh, you're Han Solo. This is the Millennium Falcon," and it's just like, so that means that she knows the whole history of it, and also like that's like
the schematics for it.
Well, and that's like me going like, "Oh, Dale Earnhardt's number 3 car. Like that's a legendary car. That doesn't mean that I know how the fuck to fix it."
Exactly.
We also see her hacking into different. Okay, first of all, it's not hacking, it's slicing into different systems to reprogram them and fixing the Falcon after they escape. As Han says, girl knows her. Yeah, she doesn't really know how to do it very well either. Nothing explained why. nothing explained why she beat Kylo Ren first try. That's because she didn't beat Kylo first try. There are many factors that play into how she survived her first battle.
He got
Kylo.
hit with the blaster. He got hit with the bowcaster.
First, let's start with the fact that Kylo wasn't trying to kill her. He offers to train her in the ways of the Force. What good would it be to kill someone you want to be your apprentice? Kylo's also greatly injured after yep, it was the bowcaster.
Yeah,
okay.
That's usually the first one.
At least that one is explained.
Well, on top of that, it's like the others, like Palpatine had no problem trying to kill Luke after Luke refused to join the dark side.
Yeah, Kylo could have incapacitated. He had already done it earlier in the movie where he did a hand wave to knock her out. Like, if he really wanted to like teach her, first of all, she shouldn't have been able to escape the first time. It was like, how did she do a mind trick right away? So I don't really blame Kylo for not anticipating that asshole. But he's got to be like talking to the story, like, the fuck? She did a mind trick? She's had no training. What are you talking about?
It's like that. Yeah, literally that level of telepathy. That's a more advanced power.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that being able to manipulate people's minds takes training. Rey does get one good swipe at Kylo's face and kicks him to the ground, but that's only after she taps into the Force, and can be argued, in my opinion, that she's leaning a bit into the dark side. Okay, first of all, that's your opinion, which we can already discard because you're clearly freaking biased, and you're also a Rey lover, so anything you say actually is invalid. But it's like, tapping into the Force doesn't mean you're immediately great at fighting with a lightsaber.
Yeah, if anything, it should be like wild and unruly. Like, you shouldn't really know how to channel it properly.
Actually, she does kind of become wild and unruly when she's actually supposed to have training. A chasm also opens up between them directly after that, so Kylo has no chance to fight back. Okay, the fact that she actually even gets a good swipe in and kicks him down, it's like she clearly does end up winning.
The chasm opens to save Kylo. It's not like it's like, oh, he's about to kick her ass, and then that's chasm opened. It was like, oh, we need to separate them because we got to have 2 more movies after this.
Oh, and now for a quick aside on Rey's fighting style. Oh, God, no. I've heard this one before. Rey, throughout the entire trilogy, has a very scrappy fighting style that's reminiscent of using a staff. Yeah, that's because she has a staff, you idiot. Her primary mode of defense on Jakku for 10 plus years. Oh, God, no.
You want to know why she had a staff? It was because they didn't want her to kill people, but they wanted her to have like action scenes where she could beat that shit out of people. So they had her to have the convenient shit.
Staffs and lightsabers are both melee weapons, so it's understandable that some of the skills used to wield a staff would come in handy when using a lightsaber. How?
One's a sword, the other one is a staff.
And also, yeah, there's
lightsabers weigh very much
between the two.
Like there's weight distribution, and the fact that that's saying that Donatello from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles could just magically wield one of Leonardo's katanas.
Yeah. Well, and it's even worse because like a lightsaber, as much as Disney Star Wars wants to pretend differently, it doesn't have the same weight as a sword. Like you cannot gently brush a sword on someone and kill them. You can gently brush a lightsaber on someone and kill them because it's fucking plasma and it's gonna melt through them.
I think you actually can do that in like the Jedi Outcast and Academy, where you can just point your lightsaber at an NPC and they just die.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have the jerky animations before they finally die.
Like I think I did that to C-3PO and R2.
Yeah, you don't need to put any momentum behind a lightsaber swing. You can literally just be like, me, and they'll die. The same as if you went, yeah. It's not even the same as a staff in that regard, where like a staff, you got to like strike and block and blah, blah, blah. You know, it's momentum, it's weight. And also like, yeah, what you said with the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, it's just like, hello, these are 2 completely different weapons. Like,
only after she's gotten some training does she learn to use it more like a sword. Well, first of all, obviously because she's trying to use it like a completely different weapon, she should have been killed by Kylo on the spot. Like she would have absolutely no chance against Kylo, who has freaking training because, he trained at Luke's Jedi Academy.
Well, he beats her in the one scene. It's completely realistic, where he just walks up behind her in the forest and is like, "Whom," and she like passes out, and he's just able to take her back to the ship. But then for some reason, 5 seconds later, all of a sudden they're evenly matched, even though he one-shotted her like earlier in the movie. It's like, well, now the plot needs her to win, so sorry.
Rob Inch explains that her unrefined style of fighting is deliberate and he purposefully choreographed it that way. We'll probably check that out a later time because I got one last video to get through.
Yay.
I'm probably going to have to edit this the thumbnail after this because we're not going to get to Supergirl. You would be right that how the dyad was formed was not explained in full in the films, if at all. That being said, there's many things regarding the Force that aren't explained throughout the films, and we've needed to wait to get additional information on. The Force works in mysterious ways. Yeah, but there's always a logic behind it that you can assume.
You can't just do willy-nilly with everything.
The context we are given, though, is plenty to piece it together. Snoke in TLJ says, "Darkness rises and light to meet it. I warned my young apprentice that as he grew stronger, his equal in the light would rise." This infers that the
what if you so
what
Snoke, who's your equal, first of all, because you're a big dark side guy. So where's your like equal in the light side? And also, like, wouldn't you then just tell Kylo, like, hey, just don't train? Because if you do, then there's going to be some big light side person.
Right away, this already shatters what's established in the original movies, where it's like the Sith need to be destroyed. The dark side is predominantly evil. It's like evil needs to be vanquished and destroyed. It cannot exist. It shouldn't exist.
Well, Ryan took the idiotic interpretation of balance in the Force as like, oh, there's equal light side as bad side.
Oh, I hate
Meanwhile,
the equal light, equal dark BS so much.
I hate it.
I always tell people
it goes all the way back to the freaking Mortis arc from TCW.
Yep.
And also people misinterpreting game mechanics as literal.
Yeah,
well, it's Filoni, with that Mortis arc. He started it where he started that line of thinking where he was like, oh, balance, that must mean like a scale. It's like, no, Filoni, that's not what Filoni, if you ever go to your therapist and you're like, I want to be a well-balanced emotional individual, he's like, I must give you equal anger as sorrow as happiness. It's just like, no, that's not what balance means. And that it's more of like an emotional balance as far as the balance in the Force, where you're like, if I'm a well-balanced individual, it means that I am mostly just happy and like, in balance as far as like I'm not any of the negative things. And that's basically how the Force is. It's like being in balance means like the light side is there and the dark side is vanquished. Yeah.
Oh my God. There is an inherent connection with their individual connections to the Force. They also, of course, find themselves connecting throughout The Last Jedi, seeing each other at moments. This also shows that they're connected in what is eventually revealed to be a dyad. Yeah, but there's no explanation for why that happens.
Yeah, they made up the dyad shit.
Okay, automatically you lose the argument by trying to refer to out of movie material that was clearly created as damage control. It's implied that because of their genetic relations to both intense dark and intense light powers, that the Force connected them. Okay, so why didn't Anakin, form a dyad with Plagueis? Like it.
Asajj Ventress.
The moment the Force first awakens in Rey, though, is shown in the Rise of Kylo Ren. That doesn't make any sense. The Force doesn't wake up in people.
And also, that's like after the movie came out, so they are retroactively trying to fix the plot hole. That's acknowledging that in the movie it's a plot hole because that's just how timelines work.
Okay, part 2. We'll probably we'll check out part 2 at a later time. Let's get to the other thing. But that was like beyond stupid. Like you already shot yourself in the foot by referring to out of movie material. Like the prequels and the original trilogy, you can explain those both in, without having to refer to the expanded universe.
Yep.
Yeah, it's just
We're-
secondary supplemental for you to enjoy it as
Exactly.
an option.
If
I
you
always
wanna
find it laughable whenever they're like, "Oh, Luke is just he's just a Gary Stu in A New Hope." It's like, nope, nope, nope. He establishes that he's good at the T-16, Bullseye and Womp Rats. He trains with Ben, but he already explains that he's a good pilot even before then. And he's not really good with the lightsaber. He doesn't have to do anything with the lightsaber in that movie. So, before he actually has to fight with a lightsaber, there's years of training between the movies and all that.
Bingo.
So, yeah.
There's some in those quote unquote Luke Segura Stew crowd. They when they say that Luke uses the Force to
blow up the Death Star.
They literally think he's telekinetically guiding the torpedo, and when all that he's doing is basically
reaching out with the Force.
Like he's basically just using the Force tells me to do it this time. Reflex. This basic reflexes he learned when
It's a slight nudge. It's a slight enhancement to what's already there as an ability for him.
Yeah.
Whereas Rey is just pulling Force powers that she shouldn't even know about
out of her ass.
Luke Skywalker, I thought he was a myth, but here's a Jedi mind trick I can do 5 minutes later. It's just like, what?
Okay, here's the video I've been wanting to tackle. Bombastics, the rise and fall of Disney Star Wars plans. I kind of wanted to do this as a near the end of the year kind of video, because it's he's going through the history of Disney Star Wars for this one. And I feel like, hey, what better way to kick off the end of the new year by laughing at all the other previous years?
So I will guess that he blames Bob Iger for the lack of plan. He's not going to want to throw Kathleen Kennedy under the bus at all. He'll just be like, idiots will blame Kathleen Kennedy, but Bob Iger told her all these bad things.
Yeah,
the biggest Star Wars slate in history. Over 10 new Star Wars projects announced in 2020, including video games, films, and TV series. We just had the release of Disney Plus and also The Mandalorian Season 1.
Now with yeah, it was one of the worst years we ever had to live through. It was like
Sam Jackson is looking at Bombastic right now in this photo. He's just like, really, motherfucker?
Disney Plus, we can explore.
What?
Yeah, I'm sorry, but I'm gonna have to skip on this video because I had to wake up at 10, and so
Okay,
yeah, I'm gonna have to leave the stream a little early.
All right, no problem. Take care, Khalil.
You too.
See you next time.
Goodbye. Well, we'll see you I'll see you in 2 weeks.
See ya.
Or take care.
Merry Jinxmas.
All right. It's just us three. Last video, and then we'll close out the stream, I hope.
Limitless story possibilities like never before.
Looks like
and fulfill the promise that there is truly a Star
collage. It looks like Darth Maul is sniffing Rey's hair. He's just like he's got his nose right on her head. He's just like, that's good, Rey. And Obi-Wan up at Grogu like, what the fuck is that thing, Master Yoda?
My child, that is not, I swear.
God with Yaddle, I did not.
Star Wars story for everyone.
The hype was unbelievable, but today things look very different.
Things have been looking different ever since Disney bought the damn IP.
I like how he says the hype was not even that anything was good. He's just like, oh, we were hyping shit up because we're shills, and then it turned out none of it was good.
Well, again, keep in mind, this is the same idiot who's trying to get a Battlefront 3 off the damn ground.
Oh, that's right. He made like 50 videos that were based on absolutely nothing, and he's just like, guys, I can't believe how much traction our Battlefront 3 movement has gotten. It's like, you've literally got nothing. What are you talking about?
Like, I remember I covered, he went to a gaming convention where EA was doing like a Battlefield 6 event, and he went there to go talk to them about Battlefront 3. It's like, what the hell, man?
And people do this in games all the time where they're like, oh, the hype for this is unreal. And it's like their 1,000 followers or whatever are like, just keep repeating the same sentence. And they take that as like, oh, the companies can't ignore us now. It's like, I'm pretty sure they can.
Like they freaking ignored people when it came to the Acolyte getting a season 2. They're ignoring people with the I think they ignored people with the whole Raylo crap too. Like with the Hunt for Ben Solo movement that's been going on lately.
This is why I can't take out, or I can't take seriously like the Birdman and shit whenever they're like, oh, I'm exposing the grift. It's like, you don't call out the most obvious grift. Like, this fucker made 50 million Battlefront 3 videos based on nothing, based on his fans commenting on his videos saying, oh, Battlefront 3 is totally happening. And he's like, oh, trying to make a new video. This user said Battlefront 3 is totally happening.
I remember because I like to listen to video game soundtracks when I'm on the road or something. And I remember like when I'm listening to one of my favorite tracks from one of my favorite video games, this one guy was like, was in the comments saying, not waiting for like Battlefield 6 or GTA 6, not waiting for freaking Battlefront 3. Like he was trying to present it as if Battlefront 3 was like a highly anticipated title that people want to come out.
Oh my gosh.
Like that's the only time I've ever seen it mentioned outside of Bombastic's channel.
Star Wars' latest series has gone fully woke.
Star Wars The Acolyte has been canceled.
You know, Star Wars is a hot mess.
Battlefront Classic Collection. Unacceptable.
Star Wars went from being a juggernaut to
talking there. I mean, he'll shill if he has any sort of ground to, but he was calling it out correctly that it was a bug-ridden mess, which, like, if you're releasing a remaster of an old game, like, come on, like, how can you not just make it work on release? You don't even have to make any new story or anything. You just have to
especially given it's like Aspyr released the Tomb Raider remaster, I think the same year, and it's like, what the hell happened?
It's gotta just be like, we didn't care and we're just pumping it out.
Oh, Misery's still here. Stop pointing it. Yeah, he's just crying. Dear God, dude, get a life.
A laughing stock.
Like a banta.
So, what happened? What went wrong? On December.
Simple. Disney bought Star Wars.
Poor leadership. Yeah.
Tossed the expanded universe out, made the Disney trilogy, decided it was a good idea to try and damage control for said Disney trilogy.
Guys, Willow and Rangers of the New Republic. Rangers of the New Republic, they culture warred too much to make that happen. And Willow, they fucking erased off their streaming service. They were so embarrassed by it. And there was supposed to be a droid story. Jesus.
What would that even be
Children
about?
Children of Blood and Bone, Lando. It's like Willow no longer freaking exists. I've actually seen the original movie. I'm guessing this was like before they settled on doing Dial of Diarrhea.
Yeah, I think they just said there was going to be a new one with Harrison Ford. Because I remember,
and of course they had to freaking make it a bland logo. Like it looks much more bland now that it's just a pale yellow color.
Ahsoka.
November 10, 2020.
Ahsoka. Oh, and then there was that freaking Rogue One movie, Rogue Squadron movie, which got as far as like,
right?
Yeah, that was Patty. They got as far as that weird trailer thing, and then that just got dropped.
Disney gave us the Disney Investor Day, with the Lucasfilm section presented by Kathleen Kennedy announcing a bunch of new Star Wars projects.
What could possibly go wrong?
This is the
every
time, literally.
What could Bubsy? What could possibly go wrong? Aren't these Disney boardroom members wonderful?
Felt like the rebirth of Star Wars, like Star Wars stepping once again into the modern era. We were on the verge of greatness.
We were never on the verge.
Oh, he's gonna quote director Krennic here, guys. We were this close.
I can't believe I actually watched this guy for a while before figuring out he was a shill. Because I remember like his only good videos worth watching are the Battlefront 2 funny moment videos, because it's super hilarious to watch that game just break itself.
Hey, don't feel embarrassed. I used to watch Roka, Harloff, and Coy back in the day.
Damn. I mean,
that
yeah,
was
we're all
2016 through 2018. You know, whatever.
Yeah, I would say like at least me and John, we both snapped out of the Disney Matrix.
Well, it's also that was literally the only media that existed for this. So even if you disagreed with them, you would just say that in their comments, because there wasn't like at least you at least weren't aware of like any dissenting voices. So it was just like if you wanted to talk about Star Wars in any sort of online community, you needed to be part of that.
But then you have like Knights of Melvin and all that, and the Gatekeepers Alliance.
Some honest people cropped up. Yeah. Because I remember it was like walking on eggshells. It was like you had to qualify, you know, even going as far back as The Last Jedi, you had to be like, well, I'm not a sexist, but I didn't like this character.
I think I still see some idiots do that to this day. I hate it.
And it's like, well, I shouldn't have to say I'm not a sexist because you assholes have made the pretension that it's like, oh, anybody who doesn't like it is a sexist. It's just like, yeah, it was really just a breakout of being able to speak more honestly.
This is why I heartily apologize for anything I say.
In this video, I'm going to take a look at every Star Wars project that was announced at this event and around this time and where it ended up. We're also going to assess each project and determine
the crystal. So badass.
And apparently in a scene that actually breaks Disney's own lore, apparently. That's freaking hilarious.
whether it was successful, whether it failed, or whether it was kind of mid.
We all know that the truthful answer is it all failed.
You are failing, as that guy said in the original Captain America.
Spice from the Red Hot Chili Peppers. I will say it's unfortunate that Nerdrotic's a grifter because he actually is kind of funny.
I don't know.
Hey everyone, it's Andrew. Ahsoka.
And the other.
Oh god, this was like a just straight up failure right out of the gate. It was the Crystal's time of the month. Nice one, Captain.
Featuring fan favorite Ahsoka Tano.
Following the success of
Ahsoka is nobody's
favorite. Yeah.
The Mandalorian season 1, it was announced that John.
Like, I don't even think she was really that heavily glazed back in the TCW days. Like, I know she was despised back when she first came out, but even when she became like more boring as time went on, it was like I don't remember anyone really glazing her. But then again, I wasn't really connected into the fan space like I am now.
Favreau and Dave Filoni were developing two.
I did hear like the only things that I heard was like vague references to like, oh, the later seasons they get totally dark, and like Ahsoka, she starts off annoying, but then she's less annoying as it goes on, and it's just kind of like, all right, and then you actually watch it and you're like, oh, this is like the worst possible character arc, and like all the animation. It's
not even really an arc. She never learns a lesson.
Yeah, like, and she's already like beating Grievous in like season 1 and shit. It's just like, oh, so
how
there's no
embarrassing.
journey. Yeah. Oh my gosh, it's like the worst version of kids entertainment with a Star Wars skin. So people have to twist themselves in pretzels to try and make it deep or meaningful.
Whereas with the micro series, it's all deep and meaningful, and it's entertaining.
Mm-hmm.
Spin-off series from The Mandalorian, set in the same era of the timeline. And the first of those series was Ahsoka. Released in
Ahsoka, it could have been better. First of all, you know, oh gosh, I forget Obi-Wan Kenobi's wife. Is this Mary Elizabeth Winstead?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, she has a great ass, and they show that off nicely as Hera, and they do a few shots on that. And I'll say Rosario Dawson, if she'd had, you know, a little bit of a V-cut going, it could have made the series a little bit more bearable.
Hell, just put her in the freaking tank top outfit from
That's what I've always found creepy, is that Filoni's like, oh, when she's 16, I'll put her in this super revealing outfit. And then whenever she's an adult, he's like,
I've heard some
put her in
idiot
a trash bag.
I heard somebody was saying that George was the one who put her in that outfit, but I highly doubt it.
Hey, Filoni, she's a fully grown person now. She can wear whatever the fuck she wants. Now she's not a kid. It's not creepy if you put her in that.
But no, she gets more covered up the more she grows up. Like, what
she wears like the balloon pants and shit now. It's just like it's Rosario
Republic
Dawson.
comics were
She's
dark.
actually like
The Republic comics were darker in TCW. Battle of Jabim was a complete embarrassment for the Republic.
Ooh. Yeah,
but
that's
who is
the other
Mark?
Yeah, the fart cloud man who
Yeah, I kept saying he was like a cloud full of farts.
He's
2023
like, oh, shit,
as
you released my gas valve.
Like Boba Fett was mysterious, but at least he wasn't a complete throwaway.
Yeah, he didn't just explode and everybody was like, oh, well, that happened.
spin-off from The Mandalorian and from Star
Oh, look,
Wars
you got like a brief ass shot right there. Damn.
Rebels, and technically also as a spin-off from The Clone Wars. Ahsoka was met with a mostly positive reception from Star Wars.
No, it wasn't. It was not received positively. Like,
it had terrible ratings as far as I know.
Yeah, it
And
was.
went
Viewership was
down.
pretty low.
like I've said it before that that Ahsoka is a hit. It's like a greatest hits for all of the worst things that Disney Star Wars has ever done. It was like you had surviving a lightsaber stab wound. You have member berries to the original to the prequels.
Meaningless dialogue that just like stretches out for no reason, where it's like, so Sabine, you don't want to train, huh? And she's like, well, I'm no good at training. She's like,
Or
that's
there was
true.
keeping Ahsoka from dying by bringing back the world between worlds, freaking time travel. Oh, and I remember somebody said that Matt Lanter's performance as Anakin in TCW was so good that it was the reason Hayden changed his performance in this crappy show. And it's like, okay, that's just a reference to, because no disrespect to Matt Lanter, he sounds nothing like Hayden.
Well, and no disrespect
Or Matt
to
Lucas.
Hayden, but what was his performance in this show? It was live or die. Like that was it.
Like
And
the
then
only
he
good
does
thing he
great
has,
choreography.
like
Yeah.
the fun thing was the fact that apparently it's hardwired into his body to wield a lightsaber, so they deliberately couldn't show Rosario Dawson stealing the lightsaber from him. It has to be done like under the camera.
Well, and he had to basically slow down a lot whenever they were having their actual.
And even then, he was still too fast.
Yeah, they were doing their clash, and yeah, she's very clumsy and slow, but like my whole point is that like he could give the greatest acting performance of all time. He was given like 4 lines of dialogue, and they were completely meaningless. Like it was just like, this is the Clone Wars, and then he's just like, yeah. Let's go. It's like you live or you die anyways.
Filoni can't tell a story. He's all over the place. I have no doubt that if he was responsible for the 6 films, its release order would be 6, 3, 4, 1, 5, and 2.
Well, and then I guess he has the flashback scene with Ewan where he's basically like, I disarmed you, you lost. And then Ewan's like, not really, bro. And then he like beats him anyway. He's like, whoa.
That was so retarded. So this was basically just a show about a bunch of middle-aged women searching for balls.
Star Wars fans. And yes, even though this series gave us frustrating things like characters getting stabbed by lightsabers and surviving like nothing happened.
Like, look at this. Like,
Getting
look
stabbed
at this.
by
Like, watch Sabine. Like, she's just
lightsabers
gonna
and surviving like nothing.
Come on,
She
what
doesn't
is
even
that?
de-ignite her lightsaber. Like that's the only way to not just kill someone once you put it in them. Like you've got to just get rid of it right away because you can't. It's too hot anyway. Like in the EU, the one character, he stabs another person. They talk about like how the light comes out of the dude's mouth and he's smoking. Basically, like it fries his entire insides, and then he falls over dead 2 seconds later because it's like
So brutal.
Nothing happened.
By all accounts, it doesn't make
once
sense.
you're
It also
stabbed
gave
with
us
a
some of the
lightsaber,
most
you're fucked.
memorable villains in Star Wars in recent years, with Balin's Skull, Shin Hati, and the return of Grand Admiral Thrawn.
I see
Thrawn
more
is-
people. Oh, sorry, John. Go ahead.
Well, just Thrawn is only popular because of his previous appearances. He is not popular because of anything he did in the show. So don't call him memorable and then use the example from the show. And Balin and that other bitch are like not memorable at all. Like Balin is basically like super vague. He's just like, oh, power. Like you wouldn't believe. Some people view it as power. Some people view it as control. I'm very different. It's like, well, how are
what
you
even
different?
is his goal?
I don't know.
Well,
Nobody
apparently we're never
knows.
going to figure it out because Ray Stevenson, bless his heart, passed away.
They did recast him. I forget who it was with.
Rory McCann.
Yeah.
Screw off.
So they're
I know
gonna
Sam
continue his
Witwer's.
story.
I know Sam Witwer's going to be in season. Well, I hope season 2 gets canceled so that none of that gets resolved.
Oh no, Brandon! I want them. They can burn more money and continue to
true.
destroy their own brand.
I don't know. It's a weird situation, but
At this
Also,
point, they're gonna make something, so I'm fine with them just like burning themselves.
I guess so. But the white lightsabers look so freaking lame too. They're like boring. Like Ahsoka is so boring now. Like what is she even like? Is she a Jedi? Is she not a Jedi? What is she? Like, come on.
She's just so cool. She's so cool because she's Ahsoka. She's orange and she has lightsabers. Isn't that cool?
Season 2 is currently set to release in 2026, with season
it's been delayed.
Season 1 ending on somewhat of a cliffhanger, and the events of the series likely eventually
lightsaber locks too. It's always just like because they don't want Rosario Dawson to have to move at all, so they're just like, we're gonna lock, and then I'll have my dialogue with you. I'm like, you know what? If I wanted to watch a bunch of people pause their turns all the time, I'd watch Yu-Gi-Oh! All right, where they can talk to each other in between.
It was like during the fight between Dooku and Ventress in the micro series, they lock lightsabers, and Dooku literally just gets one line of dialogue out, and then it's immediately back to the action. Truly, if you were a Sith, would this contest not be over?
Yeah, and he's so far above her. That's why he can do dialogue, because he's basically toying with her. Yeah.
Leading to the Dave Filoni movie, combining characters from Ahsoka, The Book of Boba Fett, and The Mandalorian. Overall, I think most of us would agree Ahsoka was a success. At the same
no,
he doesn't even get,
not really.
He doesn't even give an explanation for why it's a success. He just like, come on.
It's just a character that apparently people like, therefore it's a success.
Already, we're off to a banger of a start.
Same can't be said for the other Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau series, Rangers of the New Republic.
The new spin-off series.
Oh, I'm gonna insult the one that didn't come out. See, I'm totally critical of Disney Star Wars, guys.
Yeah, you're gonna be critical of the one that had Gina Carano in it.
Yep.
You know, the woman who ended up bending the knee to Disney.
This is like whenever I say like, oh, you guys are never willing to insult actors. And they're like, oh, well, I'm willing to insult Jared Leto. He's bad. And it's just like, no. First of all, he's a white dude. So you're kind of being safe there already.
I'll insult whoever I want.
Yeah.
Is exclusively for Disney Plus.
FC26, crazy.
They've updated loads of stuff.
God, speaking of shills,
The Rangers of the New Republic.
This series
for sports games in 2025
was set to star Gina Carano as Cara Dune and would act as a spin-off to her character's involvement in The Mandalorian. However, this one really didn't make it far at all. It was cancelled in 2021, and according to Kathleen Kennedy, no scripts were even written for the series. All they had really was the title card and the idea. But this wasn't just a smooth cancellation. The series' cancellation ended up being quite controversial. Around the time it was cancelled, Disney had reportedly fired Gina Carano for certain comments she'd made on Twitter. In 2024, Carano filed a lawsuit against Disney to be compensated for wrongful termination and to be compensated for Rangers of the New Republic's cancellation.
What could possibly go wrong?
This was settled out of court in 2025, but overall,
with Gina bending the knee to Disney and even
that was
saying,
a shame.
Yeah, even like basically you went from being a hero for the fence riders, let's be honest, because it was like none of us wanted to see Gina Carano, Cara Dune come back. But it was like You took somebody that could have been a smash against Disney, and she bent the knee. Like that went down in flames.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like, the one positive that could have come out of this is you could have aired Disney's dirty laundry, and instead you took the payday, which, selfishly, I get it. Like, they probably have a big bag and a Brinks truck that they backed up to you, but this just lets people take the narrative. And they would have taken that anyway. They would, even if she would have exposed all their shit and not taken their payday, they would have been like, oh, she passes up all this money. She's a loser. And it's like, but that would just expose them more.
Gina had Musk backing her. She had Disney by the throat. Settling out of court enables Disney to keep getting away with views. Yeah, we had like our equivalent of having the Death Star, but it blows up before we even get to destroy Alderaan.
Yeah, it like blows up like a ship instead of a whole planet.
Or what more can we say? This entire series was a complete and utter fail.
I feel like it's kind of unfair to even mention a new Rangers of the New Republic because it was canceled. Like, come on, dude.
Yeah, for totally non-monetary reasons too.
Also, yeah, here we go. The show. This show broke me. This was the show that got me to finally snap out of the Disney Matrix for good.
Yep. This is the one that got a lot of normies out of it. Like, even my cousin who's like, super not plugged into anything. He's just like, what'd you think about that Obi-Wan series? And I was just like, oh, I mean, they got Ewan back, but yeah, they just like completely fumbled his entire character and everything. Like, I was trying to be even like gentle in my critique, and he's just like, yeah, it was really lame. I was just like, oh, exactly. Even the normies like don't like this shit.
I'm never gentle with my critiques.
Obi-Wan Kenobi.
We announced the return of Ewan McGregor in the iconic role of Jedi Master Obi-Wan Kenobi for a special event series on Disney+.
Although this series was originally announced in 2019.
It's special for being a big dumpster fire, a big middle finger to George.
That's the word we used back whenever I was in school for stupid kids. We were like, oh, you're just special. It's okay.
It was confirmed that Ewan McGregor would be returning as Obi-Wan. In 2021, we got the confirmation that the series was indeed going ahead and that Hayden Christensen would be joining the cast. Originally, the series was set to be 8 episodes. It only ended up being 7 in the end. And I think
7 episodes too long.
Yeah, it was 6. Yeah, you're right.
Oh, right. I think Mr. Grizzy pointed that out.
We also need to take into account this show was largely filmed and produced during COVID. People did criticize
it has nothing to like, even if it wasn't made during COVID, this show would have still been shit. Like, it just can't be. I am so sorry, guys, that this is going on for so long. I can see John's puckering out.
Yeah, I'm good.
They turned Kenobi into a weakling that cannot commit to his duty and turned Vader into your typical stupid anime villain.
Hey, now, don't insult anime like that. I would agree he was a stupid anime villain, but yeah, like Vader's like, oh yeah, I'm going to torture you and I'm not going to kill you this time, Obi-Wan. I'm just going to drag you through the fire. And Red Letter Media is going to love it because they're going to be like, oh, he just dragged him through the fire. It's perfect.
Kenobi.
It's perfect.
No, Kenobi was freaking garbage. It wasn't even mid.
Production value, the look of the show sometimes feeling flat, the overly shaky camera work, which has been fixed by several fan projects.
Oh man, I remember Anomaly Inc. did like an entire hour-long video tearing this fight apart, and somebody was actually glazing it in his comments.
Dude, the whole series, the camera work, I couldn't stand it. He's right in this regard, in that it was like so forced.
Shaky. You can't like focus on anything.
Even during like talking scenes, he's like talking with Owen, and it's like, it's like, Owen, we need to watch out for those empires. And he's just like, ow, what the fuck?
The fact multiple characters in this series get stabbed by lightsabers and somehow survive. R.I.P.
Yeah, Reva. Reva was the character that snapped me out of the Disney Matrix, because it's like, even before I was like super critical of writing, it was like, I knew when you get stabbed with a lightsaber, you die.
Well, and the fact that she survives it once when Vader's killing the younglings, and then
a second time.
Yeah, he stabs her again,
So
and he makes the
crazy.
same mistake. Like even if that's a rule in the series, which I'm not willing to accept, I'm gonna give it shit every time. Like, yeah, you should die when you get stabbed. Vader, the second time that you stab her, you should be like, and now to make sure you don't come back this time, and he just like fucking chops her into a million pieces. Like, why would he just stab her and leave when she's already survived it once? Like, how does that make it? Makes about as much sense as Obi-Wan leaving Vader after he says that my friend is truly dead, and then he just leaves him alive.
And
it's like
Qui-Gon. But I think.
Oh my gosh, yeah. I think I remember they said that a Disney comic came out where Qui-Gon survives getting stabbed with a freaking knife.
Oh God.
Ooh.
With a knife.
You could argue it was all worth it for that final confrontation between Obi-Wan and Vader.
It was not worth it.
No.
That was shit.
If the final confrontation was
that should
good,
never
like
breaks.
It wasn't good. It's like it shouldn't even have happened.
They didn't. Yeah, it didn't work either story wise or even just basic action choreography wise. Like, it was boring as shit to watch. He basically loses by like, a bunch of rocks get spammed on top of me. and then he's just like, but now through the power of friendship, I will now throw these rocks against you, Vader.
I'm willing to buy Vader's defeat in Splinter the Mind's Eye, where he trips over his own arm and falls into a chasm. Like, that is much more believable than this.
Oh my God.
Even though that was epic, you can't ignore some of the more obvious flaws, like the characters escaping from this heavily guarded Imperial base and Obi-Wan hiding Leia under his coat.
Honestly, plenty of
Disney
employees are familiar with kids in trench coats.
All the shills had to admit to this one, even like Angry Joe, even like all these other people were just like, yeah, the trench coat shit was stupid.
Oh my gosh, I actually did find someone earlier today who tried defending this a little bit. He said it wasn't that bad.
Is it because the stormtrooper bumped his head in 1976?
No, he just said it wasn't that stupid.
Oh,
Kenobi's almost got him story. I threw a rock at him. It was a big rock.
That's a reference to the Batman animated series.
Yeah, but that was awesome.
Yeah, no, that's fucking hilarious. Whenever Killer Croc is giving, and it's Batman disguised as Killer Croc, but he's just
and
like,
he even freaking wins the poker game.
I threw a rock at him. And everybody just stares at him, including Joker isn't even fucking laughing. He's just like, it was a big rock.
No one's going to notice. Are you serious? I don't think we got the series we all wanted. And I think
they even ripped off Rebels with that Vader's helmet gets slashed reveal.
He's like Spider-Man at this point, where he always has half of his mask ripped off and he gets to talk through it.
Toby, do you agree? The show was pretty mid. And
oh my God, the show wasn't. He went mid.
Do people know what mid is? Like,
we got the series we all wanted, and I think a lot of you agree this show was pretty mid. And
he called it mid.
This is like whenever people take this wrong both ways. Like, you call something mid and somebody loves it, and they're like, "Wow, you hated it." It's like, no, I'm calling it a 5 out of 10. And then but it works the other way, like what he just did, where it's used to excuse a absolute piece of shit. You're just like, oh, it was mid. It's like, no, it wasn't mid. It was well below mid. It was the absolute bottom tier. And then people used to use mediocre like this, or
shut your mouth, you mediocre clarinet player. Mediocre.
Like people would take it as absolute or overrated. That was the big one. It's like
It was overrated or underrated.
Yeah, well, like I think this thing is overrated. And they're like, "Wow, so you hated it?" It's like, no, because it's rated a 10 out of 10. I think it's an 8 out of 10. They're like, "Wow, you hated it." It's just like, no,
Well, people can't understand nuance anymore.
Yeah, it's just like, I'm sorry, it's not the absolute best thing ever. Like that's literally the definition of the term, though. You're rating it too high. It doesn't mean that I think it's shit.
Sure.
Let's unpack how I gift like
Oh
Santa.
my gosh. Me and my dumb ads. Because I don't want to get YouTube Premium.
Gotta
This
get
new
that
series we
premium,
have
bro.
coming to Disney Plus in 2022 is Andor.
Before
At what
Andor
point can
released,
we,
I think
At what point can we cut it off, though? Because I don't think we're gonna make it through this whole thing.
Yeah, because it's
Okay,
getting kinda
yeah.
late.
I think I'll end it here then. I'm sorry, guys.
Yeah,
We'll do a part 2 of this and the Ray scene next week.
Hey, we got through all my Screen Rant articles.
Yeah, that was a hoot and a half. So any parting thoughts before we leave?
Well, this helped get my mind off of stuff and help me relieve stress for the
Hey,
evening.
if you ever want to come back, you're always welcome, dude.
Oh yeah, we need to when it finally comes out, we'll
The mall.
react to the Mall Soy Lord trailer.
Yeah.
Yep, and Mando and Grogu.
Yeah.
And Ahsoka season 2. We got all sorts of shit, guys.
Yay!
Hype, 10 out of 10. Oh, peak fire, bro.
Yeah, well, it's an honor working with you all as a part of Vader's Fist. That's what I'm calling the group. And I'm hoping we can do more of this in the future.
Indeed.
Well, that's all the time we have for today, folks. If you like what you see here, please like and subscribe. And also like and subscribe Iron Inquisitor and John's channels. Links are in the description below. And until next time, always remember to be awesome. See you guys.